Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation. You and Atlas, building the promise of tomorrow. Target を捕捉。位置を確認して。行くわよ。
Washing gonna find Bolu, but does get hit markers by Jez. Going up against, they're now all tied up. 1-1. Zio is going to get taken down by Jez. You can now see Jez pushing up towards the B flag. Rocket at 35 round. We have Vague pushing up incredibly far, but this should be a free kill for Zio. Sure enough, with the push from the backside, finds Jez.
Licença, torcia! Botão no cofrinho do Ibis! Pra cima do Delzinho! Double do craque! Faz clique aí, meu chat! Você tá no YouTube, faz o clique da jogada! Tomara tá! Um som, morto!
Vou cravar cima, trava esquerda, trava esquerda!
Tem um, só tem real! Vai ter mais um! Aí tem que botar essa
pode ver agora, calma,
Nossa!
And we've got two players left to deal with. FN 420. Oh my god, Lucky, what the hell was that? Count them out. Can't do it. Lucky is Dark Wizard. You're the only hope here, Dark Wizard. Oh my god. We've got a 2v5 that is a reality. Lydia looking for the shots. Lydia's in around the corner. Lydia finds one. Lydia just needs to find Lucky. Doesn't happen. We're going to another round. The most at the moment finds another one. Just an absolute demon. Moving Winkless in with the side of Nova. Dave, you're going in.
People see. There is one A now.
Oh my! Chris, he's all one more. Where you at, homie? I know you're in a difficult sniper in this area, but right now you're just sniping. With an 80 with close, Lucky, get headshot. Costco, flip the smoke. Get it too, homie! We got a 1v1!
Oh my goodness, Iona! Bro, watch!
Extem was left alive. Now it's Iona looking to make the...
Yo, this girl's dirty! Aggressively push up to this degree. Lydia's able to find one. Artem, Misa coming through. What's that? Is that the Kilo? Whoa! Artemisa, the Damascus Kilo. Ooh, Chels finds one, is looking for two, but Artemisa... Yo, this girl kind of nuts with the kilo, bro.
Yo, how are you not
I have been. Down herself on that Sparrow shot. But the Angels do maintain this P3. Oh, brick stuff! Well, it was looking good for a minute there, Verdict, at the beginning of this round, but it has quickly gone in. I think you're right on the money. The arrow can push that up, finds 2 in the feed to start things off. Those double kills are worth a ton of points, let alone
and welcome back. My name is Diana and I am your host today and for the rest of the season, obviously. I'm here with Verdict and Day, who are absolutely ready for this insane week. Verdict, how was your day?
My day and my weekend has been filled with some of the best times I've had in quite a while, and this season's actually coming to an end. I gotta say, I'm not looking forward to that, but I do think this week is possibly going to be just as good as it was last week.
Actually, very excited for this week too. Last week was awesome. Day, how was your weekend? Day,
Days,
you're muted.
hello.
I was typing all those numbers to Ronan, and my numpad period button is to mute in Discord, so my mic wasn't muted. I ended up getting muted in Discord on accident. The weekend was all right. I think everybody can agree with me here that it wasn't long enough. But you know what? That's okay. I been busting butt at work the past couple days. Tried to get out at 12 today. I was like all excited, texting these guys that I'm gonna be home at 12:30 today. Nah, Chad. I showed up at home at 1:40, and you know what? That is just the way it works sometimes.
How was your weekend, Deanna?
Oh, my weekend was actually pretty amazing. I got legendary. Okay, in MP. I was playing a lot of COD Mobile, and I was playing some Minecraft also, and overall it was a good weekend. I need more, but it's alright.
You know who's been playing a lot of COD Mobile is this guy Werdict over here.
Yo,
She
we get
never plays
crapped on
with
by.
me.
Let me tell you, I had to solo grind to master because Saturday I ended up getting in lobbies, and I played for 2.5 hours, and I literally ranked up 1 rank, not like a whole from pro to master, but from Pro 2 to Pro 3, and I was like, look, I gotta solo queue. I solo queued my way to master, and now I'm sitting at like Master 3 after getting carried by Mizu and a few other of the viewers that religiously come through. So I'm grateful for any time I get a chance to get carried in COD Mobile rank, because I am literally dog water, but I have fun playing it.
Well, that happens to me too. I actually played with Mojito. I played with Bison a lot. Like these guys are carrying me. I was just like, bottom fragging like always. But playing the OBJ, playing the OBJ.
That's an important role. You be proud of that.
I am. I do love the OBJ, but we do have a great day ahead of us. Verdict, are you ready to tell us the schedule for today?
Yeah, matches of the day look pretty promising. We're going to start off with a little bit of a Stage 4 preview. It's going to be AxiByte and Light, followed up by a very intense matchup that paniQ is going to be desperately needing to win. Now, Cold Esports taking on paniQ in our second series of the night, but our highlight premier matchup definitely going to be that Animus versus Zidium. To cap things off, we're going to have Vendetta versus Prometheus. And overall, I think we got 2 out of the 4. Actually, yeah, 2 out of the 4 Stage 4 previews of matches that could, be to come for, later on in the month. But I think overall it's going to be a dub of a day.
Guys, don't forget to check Verdict's treasure boxes, because you have a chance to actually win a pair of finger sleeves. And also, don't forget to use the comment in the chat for getting 10% off for your next order at Mobile Gaming Corps. Day, I do see the standings, but can you tell me the standings real quick?
You know what? I think I can, because I'm pretty sure Werdict already put those in chat. I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, listen, guys.
Verdict may be one of the greatest casters in the COD mobile scene right now, but he's also one of the best admins here at Mayhem. So, I'm going to get in trouble for that one, but you know what? That's okay. We've got Nova in first place, coming through with 150 points. Animus, they're in that number 2 spot with 125. AxiByte in that number 3 spot, tied with Cold Esports at 85. Then you've got Zidium and Light tied for number 5 with 75. And paniQ, they're only sitting 15 points behind Zidium and Light right now. And there's only a few days left in the season. So definitely some well-needed points that they could pick up here today. But they're going up against Cold, who have been on a little bit of a hot streak as of late. I think they came in and had a little bit stronger of a season than we anticipated them to have. In number 8 spot, you've got Prometheus with 30. Number 9, Vendetta with 10. Number 10, you've got Apophis with -10. And I think I'm at 9 with 0 for Vendetta. -10 for Apophis. And that rounds out your top 10 standings here.
Thanks so much. I do see teams are already in the lobby, ready to ready up. I'm gonna go over the maps very fast. Okay, we do have Exabyte versus Light as our first game, and we're gonna have Hardpoint on takeoff, followed by an SND on standoff, and if you're gonna get a third game, it's gonna be a Control on firing range. We do have Sparrow and the Annihilator band, and also Hacienda and Summit.
Alrighty, best of 3 looking pretty spicy. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to gear up for this first series. Before we do that, I think some of the things we need to talk about is, you know, you've got a Stage 4 preview on our hand day. We've got some Stage 4 talent in the rosters, but who are a few of the players that we're going to need to look out for?
Well, my 2 players that I picked based on their last week performance today is going to be, for this matchup, Vire for Light and Dinicio for the side of AxiByte. And Vire came through with an average KD in the hardpoint on Thursday of a 0.97. Not super great, but, you know, right there about even. He came through with almost a minute of hardpoint time as well. But the search is really where he popped off. Came through with a 1.38 for the team. Definitely a strong performance and helped them close things out. Or try to, at least. I think they did drop to Prometheus, but had one of the stronger performances on the team. So that's where you got to give him some credit. Hopefully they'll be able to bump the stats up today for our Thursday player cards. But someone who did have a solid performance on Thursday is Dinicio from AxiByte. You can see he's coming through with a 1.67 KD ratio in the hardpoint, 201 for your hardpoint time. And then you bounce into the search and destroy. He kept it right up there with a 1.71. Great ratio to bring for the team. They did go to a game 3. They had a control. He went neutral there. I think he was 15 and 15 if I remember correctly. But definitely an overall solid performance out of Dinicio for Thursday. And again, maybe get another opportunity for AxiByte to get someone else on a player card for our upcoming Thursday's matches.
Yeah, there we go. Well, player cards in, scout reports in. The bands came through. We don't see Summit. We don't see Hacienda. The Annihilator and the Sparrows off the table. We're getting geared up for our first series. Before we do that, I gotta give a huge shout out to the man with doing the mostest right now. Jimbo coming through with a 10 gifted. And on top of that, the Leon, the Master, the 30 piece. Sheesh. Jim, you killing it, homie. I hope you the best of luck for your series that's to come. I think this is going to be a highlight series as well, our second one, but our first one is definitely going to be one for the ages. It's a Stage 4 preview. As Day just mentioned, the player cards they're in. They look solid. Viri looking like he can anchor for the squad, but I think more importantly, AxiByte has been on a bit of a burner here recently, and Dinicio frying the way he does. When he's hitting his shots, dude, that is a scary sight if you're on the opposite side of the board. So we're going to get geared up for our first game, as we mentioned earlier. It is going to be that hard point on takeoff. Before we do that, got to make sure everybody's good to go. It looks like we got all green check marks. Rosters, Very, Faints, Hez, Marky, and Gore for Light. And then for the side of AxiByte, does look like we got Lydia, Miz, Apollo, Dinicio, and Melk Bear. Melk, are you going to be running this shoddy here in takeoff? God, I hope not. Yeah.
Listen, he brought his games back last week, right? At least the hard point. I mean, it started off horrible, and he was able to bring it back at least somewhat. The search, I mean, then proceeded to not go super well. So I would like to see a little bit more diversity coming through from Melk, but you know what? At the end of the day, homie's going to play the way he wants to play, right? So we're not always going to be, in control of that, but we'll just hope the best for both of these teams. It's not, really important to me who comes through and picks up the win.
Yeah.
But, I think this is a great game to possibly see a game 3 of.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if we had that same light roster from stage 3, it'd be a little bit of a different story. But this is the salvage squad that, has to move forward. And right now, they've been kind of hemorrhaging. They have been dropping games that they should have won. They've been dropping games that we'd anticipate them to just have large leads in and just close it out. And right now, they're doing a great job on the objective. 25-5, 5 seconds left. The P2 rotation is going to be made early. It is going to be AxiByte there early. Apollo, he's got 3 on board. As a matter of fact, it's 4 on board for Denisio, and he's kind of headed the pack for top of the leaderboard. 26-point advantage rolling into it. The rotation's going to pay off for the first little bit, but can Light make the break day?
Well, they are certainly looking to do so. They've got a tough opponent here today, though. I mean, if we look at it, you've got big names from last year in the mix, right? Vere, Faints, players that went through into stage 5, varying performance, obviously, but they bring that level of talent. They bring that level of confidence. They bring that experience to the team. So that's a huge factor. And then you've got some of the younger talent on this lineup as well. Markey and General Gore are some of the nastiest newcomer snipers that we've seen in a long time, at least in Europe. Has usually pulls through strong in the hard point. Search has been a little bit of a weak spot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was last month. I don't know if it's relevant now. We'll have to look. We're just
hoping they're gonna have a better performance here today.
Look
at the opposition. You've got the return of Lydia and Denisio, and I believe Apollo played in Masters last year as well.
Yeah.
Miz and Mount, kind of newcomers, kind of a little bit on the lower scale of things, but definitely have potential, right?
Yeah, well, potential. Is it max or is it going to be untapped? I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, Denisio is living up to his player card and more. He's sitting on 12. He had a nasty feed on that P2 rotation. However, the team not really able to take advantage of a lot of those kills. You can see it, the lead heavily in favor of Light at the moment, but Melt coming through, spraying him down with the Purifier. Not Veery. Totally Veery. Trying to get the break. Totally not going to happen. And right now, the operator is going to be burned. There's some score streaks in the pockets of Faints, but I think Gore and Veery are the last two with any kind of utilities to get the break here. This is for the lead. Right now, 10 seconds left for grabs, and scraps is all that Light are going to be able to fend off. As the P4 rotation is going to be made, the perimeter control is being locked down. Apollo actually holding this fort down right here on this secret side of the map and looking for the rotation of P4. Could be a game changer, Dave.
Yeah, it definitely could. I think this is a matchup that could theoretically go either way. We've had AxiByte kind of showing out a little bit. We've had Light, I would go as far as to say struggling compared to what we expected, even with the big roster changes. They lost out on, I believe it was at least Balance. And there's one other player on the stage roster, Slayer, who went to Nova. So that is big talent that they lost, but they still can bring it to the table. And as we look here, we do have at least one drone available for each team, one for Apollo and one for Faints as well. So could see some of that kind of wombo combo action. Not going to have... Oh, you know what? We do have... Hopefully Vere does not use this Annihilator he has. That's banned, right? That was one of our banned operators?
Yeah, imagine jumping into a series and... I mean, you're doing all right. You've been sitting on that operator for... God knows how long, bro. I know you died several times. Obviously, you can't make the adjustments in game. That is a huge miss. Right now, it doesn't really matter. They've got a 30-point lead. They're rocking and rolling. P4 is closing down, and we're heading over for a P1 Fountainside rotation. Right now, again, 32-point advantage. I didn't think we would see this kind of performance off the bat, but, I mean, it's not done. It's not over. And there's nothing to celebrate if you're Light. You've got to take this bag. You've got to do it and be consistent with your plays moving forward. Right now, AxiByte kind of struggling in this, and we saw this against Prometheus. Oh no, Prometheus was actually the team that beat Light. We saw Light struggle off the bat, and it really didn't get better. And right now, I think they had a little bit of a turnaround over the weekend, and they're looking pretty solid right now. 50-point advantage rolling into a P2 rotation with only 27 seconds left on P1. They're not even letting AxiByte get out of the spawns right now.
Yeah, and I think looking at our matchups from Thursday, if I remember correctly, we were both pretty much on board with saying that we thought Light was going to win that matchup against Prometheus, and it didn't happen. I mean, you guys obviously saw the player card. I mean, that was the best average performance I could find from that team from Thursday. Was Vire coming through, so not what we expected out of them. And hey, you know what? Everybody's going to have an opportunity to have an off day, right? And we just got to see Light come through and bounce back from that. Again, they don't have an easy opponent, and they are looking better. I would say AxiByte, maybe across the board, not as strong of a team as Prometheus has proven to have the potential to be. But obviously, they've been more consistent with showing up. They've come through and had their good performances. And Prometheus started off the season very, very weak. So for them to come through and such a strong performance against Light, I think that was a little bit unexpected of us. But I think it definitely spiced up the day on Thursday. I mean, we were talking about how good the games were Thursday, you know? So yeah. I'm definitely glad, you know, we came through. We had all 4 for EU. I mean, that does not happen very often, you know? Yeah,
you can't spell EU without DQ right now. It's gap being closed. AxiByte putting on a little bit of the numbers there on that P2 rotation. As a matter of fact, they're already trying to set up for P3 as well. They got best of both worlds. Melk holding down the fort with 21 up top. Now it's the scaffolding drop. It is heads from that range. Good night, bro. Eagle coming through to follow up. Not going to be able to hit the shots, and Vire going to be able to win a massive gunfight. However, there are plenty of gunfights to win here on this P3 rotation. This is make or break for Light in regards to selling that 50-point advantage that we were just praising them about. And I think this is where we go back to the basics. They're not able to close out the rotations. They lose focus midway through. And I don't know if it's so much a knock at Light or if it's, you know, overall a better turnaround for the likes of AxiByte. So right now, the lead is going to be transferred right back in the hands of AxiByte. And Light, they're on the outskirts looking in. A lot of utilities being burned. They are going to get the break, and they're going to get back in the driver's seat for the time being. But for how much longer can they continue to sell 50-point leads on the backs of a P1 to P2 rotation and expect to, you know, command the games? It's just not going to happen.
Well, one player that had a really rough day last week that we kind of mentioned on was Melk, and we were wondering if he was going to come through with the R90, especially on such a long-range-based map, or at least long-range potential, right? 29 kills on board, making it look good right now. But we do also have a Goliath in pocket for Hez, so that could potentially get them some big time on one of these hills. We've taken a 12-point lead on the side of Light now. The Goliath not been called in yet, might be saving it for a P2 or maybe a P3 rotation. Yeah. But I think that's something that Hez is going to have to keep in mind is, you know, when is going to be the most optimal time to use this? And you also have to wonder, what streaks do my opponents have? Am I going to get credit on the way in? Is my team, do they have trophy systems ready to help me make that rotation? And we're not going to get listen-ins with either of these teams, guys, because they're getting prepared for Stage 4, and because AxiByte thinks that they lose when we do listen-ins with them. You know what, that's A-okay, all right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking at the utilities. I'm looking at the utilities. There are plenty of trophies in each team's hands. As a matter of fact, I think the one thing that's missing for AxiByte is the smokes, and I think a smoke would be great on a P1, great on a P3 rotation, but right now you got to work with what you've got, and, you know, Vire's putting the team in a very large disadvantage, not having that 5th operator. But overall, I think Light have done a great job so far. P1 rotations coming through, Miz coming through with the drone into the sky, trying to get a little bit of a bird's eye angle. And this might be enough for something to happen. I will say, though, both teams kind of wasting their drones, not getting maximum use on. You see the break's not going to come through immediately. The follow-up is going to, however, come through. But, again, there was a P4 drone that was tossed up in the sky for feints, and there was no movement on that P4 rotation. It literally took them 15 to 20 seconds to make something happen. in a game like this where it's, pretty close, you've got to be able to utilize those drones even without having annihilators on the table. So we are getting geared up for a P2 rotation. Right now, the Hez, he's full in. The Goliath is going to get dropped. They are rotating to P2. They are looking to close this one out right here, Dave.
Well, they are certainly trying to. Obviously, you mentioned that Goliath in on the hill. And it's the key thing about getting it inside is that you're not susceptible to things like the Predator missile. Now, fortunately for them, they don't have to worry about that anyway. And they're in a position where there's more than enough hill time left for them to pick up a win off this hill. And Hez is largely just tucking himself back in the corner, looking to keep this alive as long as he can, looking to anchor down some time. The Purifier is able to take a big chunk out of him. I think that was Melk making that rotation in from behind. A grenade going to hit, but it's not going to take down the Goliath. And he's doing a good job of getting some time, denying some from the opponents. But Lydia finally able to make the break, coming through. The Purifier of her own, taken down. But it is going to be AxiByte in on the hill. Pred missile does come through out of Lydia to pick up one onto Feints. And this would be a big comeback for AxiByte to make, but they definitely have the potential.
No, they do. Right now, it's all on Miz. They need the contest time. He's going to be able to find one, but Marky's going to shut him down. Insert Apollo. He gets dropped almost ASAP. Now, they do a good job of extending the rotations, but they have zero margin for error. Look at it. 3 seconds is all that Light needs to close this one out. 165 points right now sitting here for AxiByte, and I'm just waiting for that one moment for the break to come through. It is going to be 3 getting dropped almost instantly. Melk doing a damn good job there with the R9 combo. It is shutting down the initial push, but there is still plenty of time for this one to come through. Trickle time is going to be of the essence. Hez looking to make the flank. They're looking for the pinch. There's General Gore clearing the path there with Viri, but they both get dropped. Hez, he's going to be able to get 2 before he goes. The trades are in, and AxiByte are going to be able to hold off multiple pushes for the time being, and it is all of about 20 seconds they need to continue on to extend this to a P4 rotation. They don't need to get too big for the bridges. They need to continue doing what they've been doing, and so far it's been working.
Well, only 3 seconds to go for Light. If they get even a minor break, they can close it out, and it does look like Feints gonna get onto the hill, gonna pick up that last kill, and steals away the remaining little bit of trickle time. And Light, it was a little rough considering they had such a hot start. It got a lot closer than it was looking like it was going to be, but they are able to come through with the win. They're able to pick up game 1 in this series. They got to close out a search and destroy as well, or we could possibly see this one go all the way to that game 3 that we were already mentioning we'd like to see. Verdict.
Yo, I'm looking at the stats right now. When the heck did Feints drop 53? Like, I was watching him, back and forth. I was more drawn to Melk and Denicio at first, and then Lydia when she was on a little bit of a tangent. But the true heater, the burner, was coming through for him, and the gunny was hot. 47 seconds on the hill to go along with it. Viri, your player to watch here for this this roster. He put up a minute and 31 as well as a 36 and 39. Some admirable performances here on the left-hand side of the screen. You look to the right, I mean, it's right there. They're stacked. Miz does drop 20 negative, but he did pick up a minute and 25. Melk with a 205. These are solid stat lines. These are stats of a team that wants to win. And right now, I'm glad that Light were able to close it out. I mean, they had a 50-point advantage that was sold. They regained, they recouped, they get maximum value out of that Goliath. And so far, so good for them. They're bouncing back after that brutal 2-0 from Prometheus, and they're looking pretty promising right now, Dave.
Yeah, definitely gotta agree with you there, and I think there's a lot of strong talent. I've been saying this not only this season, but for many seasons for Europe now, right? I think Europe has a much more competitive top 8 than North America or LATAM does, so we definitely have teams in every regard. And one of the comments that I make about how important the number 1 and number 2 spot is, I think is the most important for Europe, because coming in first and second, you get that bye on the first day of the playoffs, right? You don't have to play in the quarterfinals. that's one less opportunity for one of these other teams that actually is really good to come through and have a breakout performance, and maybe you're having a little bit of an off day. It's one less chance for you to get eliminated in a situation that you didn't think you were going to find yourself in, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's very important to make note in the European standings for sure.
Yeah, well, something else to make very important notes about is, regardless of the effort, the practice is there, but remember us seeing that Annihilator? Yeah, we can't unsee that. So it's unfortunate, but there is a DQ, and I said it earlier. You can't spell EU without DQ, and obviously Viri dropped the ball. It happens. The Annihilator in the look, it doesn't matter. I mean, you saw the Akimbo. Yeah. We saw it. Wasn't used. Doesn't matter. It's Champs rule set, and their Champs rule set claims if it's in your loadout, it is it's a DQ. So very unfortunate, but rather have it here in Mobile Mayhem than have it in the big stage of stage 4, right? I mean, obviously get these situations handled and resolved and get it all out here now before it gets out of hand. And I mean, there's still 2 games left potentially to turn the series around. Overall, I think it was great work for Light to close things down. They did it without Viri having a 5th operator, and that'll say something. That goes a long way. I mean, when you do have, everything rolling in the right direction in that regard, that is a very, scary thing to be in front of. Viri not having a Purifier, he had the Annihilator. That's, F's in chat for the DQ, but think about it. They still won the game though, and they put up a hell of a fight, and they were able to reel it in. I think the one thing that I was struggling with watching this team was, I'm seeing Viri come in chat. Viri, look, we don't make the rules, bro. All right, the admins don't make the rules here. This is all champs. This is not us.
Yeah,
we're preparing you for stage 4. All right, garbage rule. Yeah. Write a letter to your senator or something. I don't know. Do you have senators in
No,
EU?
they don't.
No. Okay. Write a letter to my senator then. Not that it will matter. Exactly.
All right. Well, I think we should be gearing up for our search and destroy here momentarily. And obviously you've got to have the comeback performance for Light here, because now all your points are on the line, right? You won the first game, but obviously following the champs rule set, which is something that obviously we're partnered or affiliated to a degree with COD Mobile Esports, guys. That's why we get to play the trailers or at the beginning of each of the broadcasts. They asked us to get these players prepared for the stage 4 rule set and to be harsh on it. So that is just the reality. In the past, we at Mobile Mayhem have always had if you didn't use it, if it didn't impact the game, then that's fine. But this time around, and unfortunately, that's something that if you're going to be a pro player, following the rules is a important part of making it. Now, obviously, I don't think Veri did it maliciously or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but look at the Tribe DQ from stage 4 last year. Remember?
True. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it like this too. Now, this changes the game for a lot. Like, how players use certain loadouts to speed boost off the rip, and they change their class. I don't think it's as much of something that we see now in comparison to when the competitive scene was in its younger stages. But imagine if you just have the wrong class and you go AFK for a moment and you've got a banned item there. Somebody's gonna see it. You've got to be prepared and ready to roll. I think that's one of the things that and the console PC version of it, and I hate to make the comparison, but you got to. You've got different loadout options for custom lobbies. You've got different loadout options for rank. You got different loadout options for your pub multiplayer action. So I think that's one of the things that could be introduced to COD Mobile. I know everyone's thinking wow, I've got to do all this just to play custom rooms. I mean, in situations like this, it kind of helps, bro. If you've got 3 core classes that you use, and say you change up one thing about each one, it's the same loadout. I mean, how much easier would it be for you to maintain and make sure that you don't have anything that's DQ worthy in your
well,
equipment?
in a big conversation that you and I have had a lot about the difference between COD Mobile and the console. And, this comes down to, it is largely a convenience thing, but um, the aspect of league play, right? Like, things that are not usable in competitive are just completely disabled from being added to classes at that point, right? And I think that would be a cool addition to custom rooms if you're setting, implement a default competitive scene rule set, right? And make classes that have something banned on them not usable in that room. That'll get people to get straightening their loadouts out, right?
True. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. Waiting for screenshots to come through before we can get jumped into our second game. As taking a look at the best of 3. I remember us going over them, but it's been so long ago. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at them again. So it does look like we're gonna be heading over to a little bit of standoff, search and destroy. Now, if we do see this series extended to that game 3, it is gonna be control and firing range. And yeah, I'm ready for this one to start up, just like you, Chad. And we've got stage 4 vibes, a little bit of stage 4, inconveniences for champ rule set. Obviously, we don't make rules, bro. It is what it is. You've got to abide by them, and rather to have it happen here than in stage 4. I mean, it's best of 5s. You got to win 2 before you lose 2. Imagine in a best of 5, you DQ that first map, and then it goes to a game 5. Like, imagine if you would have just controlled your destiny. Yeah.
You lose to explicit,
That would never happen, right?
Because
no, they're not explicit anymore. It's
well, at the time they were.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, imagine if we didn't get to see solo in stage 5, though. Come on. Oh wait, we didn't. It was only ARP we got to see, and who else did we see? Maybe it was explicit.
It was ARP and Tribe, wasn't it?
No, we didn't see Tribe at all in stage 5.
Oh no, it was ARP, and it was ARP and explicit.
Okay, well, never mind. Maybe we wouldn't have seen. Who would we have seen if they didn't have explicit move on to stage 5? Imagine.
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think about. Maybe we would have saw more Mayhem because it was close.
And that's not just because we're Mayhem fans or whatever, chat. That is like, we didn't get to see like any of the other teams that we wanted. Like, did you get to see it? Granted, Zygnus didn't have a great performance or whatever. Like,
I didn't see Tatio shine at all.
I didn't see him play at all. I mean,
well, we didn't see Shadow play at all either. So,
wow, yeah.
All right, here we go. We're in the action. Search and destroy. Standout first blood. It's Tenicio. He's putting on. The shots are crisp. Melk's going to be able to find 1, and there's 2 in return. And here we go. Not a single kill off the bat here for Light. They are filling. Okay. Hez is using the chopper now. What's going on here, bro? Come on. Is it back to being... No, he's got a chopper in his hand for a secondary. There it is right there. I mean, he can't miss 150 bullets, right?
That's not true.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That is not true.
Oof.
Ooh, Marky with a nice shot onto Denicio there, but gets taken down. Oh, wait, doesn't. What? I was about to say Melk. What?
Huh? Hello?
I watched Melk miss 2 point-blank shots on someone that was standing still. I don't know if it was desync on my end or what, but it just... I was very confused, all right? Very, very confused for a minute there, but first round does come through for the side of AxiByte, who might be looking to close things out in 2-0 fashion off the back of the EU DQ. You had to know I was going there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on now if you don't. Mark, you jump shot, big shots.
Oh, that was so nasty. Whose perspective did you see that from?
I saw it from Faints, who was holding down the refrigerator in back alley. And I saw the jump up behind him. I was like, yeah, there's definitely some coordination going on here. Love the vibes. Hez, he's made his way into enemy territory. I don't think Apollo knows it. Now he does. Too late, though. Hez going to be able to find 1. It is going to be Miz all on his own, though. He's going to round the corner after taking down Hez. Insert General Gore in the equation. We're back to being tied. Day 1 for 1. Bounce back round, much needed here for Light. bounce back game. Let's be honest. That was a 250 to 215, you know, nightmare that they could have avoided, but that's what happens when you attach banned items, nonetheless. Payoff round, smoke's coming through. The push towards the A site is going to be very successful at first. Melk trying to clear off the vicinity. And there goes Apollo and Hez getting some trades. Hez is going to be able to find one. Faints is going to be able to get the drop on another. The Pharaoh's coming out, and they might be trolling, but they're kind of cracked with it, Day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Pharaoh's the worst gun. Okay, I think the Chicon is substantially not as good. Oh!
Melk.
That was nasty! I'm glad I switched to his perspective. I knew he was going to be in that corner with a shotgun. I saw the rotation on the mini-map. I was like, let me pop over to Melk and see if he can win this one. Not only does he pick up the one, he picks up both those fools. Gets 5 on the board on the 3rd round. Gets the bomb plant for the team. And is now playing one of the best angles that you can be in with the R90. Does get flashed here. But he's got that shotgun. He's got an angle. But nice little peek out of Viri there. That's and then the body shooting. All right. Well, you know, who didn't expect... Oh, and the teabagging? Oh.
I'll allow it, bro.
Dear.
I mean, oh, yeah.
I will, too.
Yeah, well, there goes one last little doof before you hop the plant. The defuse coming through. I mean, imagine. No, he's got it. He wins those. Very well executed. Gotta say, you break that play down to a T, you see the concussion, it gets the hit. He knows exactly where he's at. Doesn't botch the shot either, and that's important. 2-1 now, body shots, teabag at 100% on point. Viri is AFK at the moment, and I'm sure he's trying to clip that. That is definitely going on Twitter. Yeah.
Listen, I would have absolutely loved to see him miss the defuse there. Like, to be blatantly honest with you.
How madly disrespectful. But I would have laughed too. I'm not even going to lie to you.
I would have died laughing, dude. Well, Lydia makes a rotation in onto Marky, finds one. She's now looking for the kill onto Faints. Finds a bunch of shots, but can't find the last one to connect. And once again, Faints going to test fate here. Does get taken down, or does make it out without getting taken down. General Gore is able to find one. We're now looking at a 3 versus 2. It's Lydia and Apollo versus the likes of Faints, General Gore, and Viri. You have General Gore pushing up, looking to get some information on the bomb there. Confirms it's down. Faints. Pharaoh in hand. Not going to be able to pick up that kill from behind. Does alert him, or alert the enemies to his position, rather.
It's all up to you now.
And, well, Viri going to find Apollo. Lydia now got to deal with a bunch of demons. Finds one.
Oh, good shots. Score.
Almost got him.
Yeah, they were former teammates right there. There's a little bit of anxiety that Gore not hitting the shots. You get bested by Lydia, who might have actually clutched a 1v3 nonetheless. Peacekeeper does not outgun the shots from Gore. 3-1 lead is getting extended. Things are getting out of hand. The defense looking pretty solid here for Lighten. I mean, let's be realistic about it. If that DQ doesn't come through, you got an opportunity based off how we're seeing you playing right now. A potential 2-0, and, you know, things continuing to be a little, you know, trolly. The chopper's still in the hands of Hez. He's got 4 on board, so I can't really argue with that. And Faint snaking it with the Pharaoh danger zone. You are in enemy territory, homie. Gets dropped. Marky gets the revenge. Miz for Faints. I'll take it. I'll take it. Right now, shots coming through. It's Denisio. He's starting to get a little hot day, and based off the numbers that we saw earlier, the KD in Search and Destroy, much better. Well, not much, too much better. I think he 1.71 compared to the Hardpoint, which was a 1.67. I think those numbers are about as accurate.
Overall
yeah.
This year last week.
Yeah, I mean, solid week. Yeah. Solid for game 1 too. He had a 39 and 31 with about a minute on the clock. So, oh, you gotta hit those though, bro. Come on.
Well, Marky is pushing up here. It is a 3 versus 3, so we've got some opportunities here, but Denisio finds one.
Oh!
Knows where Melk is. Does get the quick scope. General Gore takes that one. Oh my goodness! Did you see that turn from Marky?
Oh my goodness! Oh, baby, put them on t-shirts. I saw Gore's blink, like point blank. I don't know who got 4K'd right there, but they got sent into oblivion. And Marky with the nasty 2-piece, I caught it from Marky's perspective. He did not skip a beat. The flicks on point. These boys are beaming. Head starts off with a nade shot. Now it's the chopper. He's going to let rain through. The chainsaw coming in full effect. He's got Milk. Milk's got you, though, homie. And when Milk's got you, it is a problem. Unfortunately, Milk's only got one, and the whole squad has dropped. And he's got to fight a 4-stack of demons. Marky Gore, Faint's looking for the push, the aggression. This is probably a corner you do not want to contest. Milk says, absolutely verdict. Prove it right. Now, one by one they push. They will certainly all fall. Gore trying to be the hero right here in this instant. Is he trying to melee? You deserve to die right there, Gore. The doof. Not going to be able to help him from that range. It is going to be very finally able to put him out of his misery. And we are 2 rounds away from seeing this one go to a game 3.
I think that was a fair bit of misplay, if you want me to be honest, from the side of Light. Like, you know Melk's the last person alive. You know the only gun he uses is the R9. Why are you going to push on the defense into close angles one at a time? Like, that's one of those instances where you either overwhelm your opponent, you guys move around the map together, or you get that bomb down confirmed, and you just play it out and let him come into the open, right? Like, those are the kind of decisions that we're going to have to see in Stage 4, because, you know, one of the biggest clips, I think, from last year during, I think it was Masters, was the 1v4 Little B clip against Tribe, right? And that was all because Tribe, one at a time, decided to challenge someone who, you know, was a reputable sniper. He hit the shots and clutched up the round, and that's just plays that you've got to make better.
I rewatched that, bro. That was more like Tribe overextending, and one by one, they got picked apart. I don't think they pushed out. Vera's on a tear, though. It doesn't matter if you're conservative, if you're aggressive. He is finding you left and right. That's 3. He needs 2 for the ace. And I didn't catch a single one of those shots. We were talking and bantering back and forth. Miz, right in the ear hole. Never stood a shot. And Melk yet again in a 1v-something scenario, and it is a 1v2 this time around. We'll see if Viri can get this bomb plant down, and Faints can hold off the push. He's decided to pick up the chopper, too. And right now, Melk might be able to get a free one. It is going to be the shots coming through. The follow-up is hot. With 35 seconds left on the clock, we got a 1v1.
All right, well, 1v1's coming through. Obviously, we're round 7 in. We've switched sides. Very gonna get the bomb plant now. He's posted up here on the tank. Does have that advanced artillery DLQ in hand. Sees the dome of Melk rotating over. I think that was an ace for Viri that round.
100%, bro.
Is that 5?
100%. That was all 5.
All right, Viri.
Yeah, ace in the clutch. He played it so well. He knows that Melk has to make the transition to the bomb. And what better way for a sniper to outgun a shotty? To create distance. Get that leverage. He's got to make the push, and he does. Get the rights. Tries to make the cross to the street side. Not safe. Lydia's going to find first blood, but is going to be blooded in return. 3 for 2 now is the 2 left standing is Inicio and Apollo, and right now it is not looking bright here for the ladies and gentlemen over at AxiByte. We might be heading over to some firing range game number 3. Very continuing to add insult to injury. One last player left alive, but he's got good sights on him. That's 1, the drop down market side push. And Very trying to clutch it up. Ice in his veins, baby. He's got it. Man's coming from Antarctica. Good night. The amount of clutches in this game for Very, the ace, the body shots, the 1v1 against Milk Bear, and then the 1v1 against your player card player of the day for that AxiByte roster. Denicio never stood a chance. AxiByte, yeah.
AxiByte.
There. Redeeming himself from the DQ in the hard point. It's garbage rolled. You know what, bro? It is what it is. You made the best of the scenario there in the Search Destroy, and I think he had 14 on board day. Good freaking night. 14 for Veer. I'm sure he's going to get a player card, right? At some point.
You know, I was actually thinking about asking you on that one. If you are the reason your team DQs in the first game, are you eligible for player card?
I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe instead of putting his stats up, you just say he calls the DQ. Right?
Oh, man. That'd be trolling. Let's do it. I guess we'll see how the control goes, because if we have someone who really like just performs in the control, like let's say Hez comes through and puts up 36 in a 3-0 control. Like I don't know if we can sleep on numbers like that, right? But we'll have to see when we get there. Overall, just more consistent fragging power today coming through for the side of Light. I mean, listen, Miz had a strong week last week, honestly. At least I had thought. Only came through with 1 kill here in the Search and Destroy. The rest of the team put up fairly respectable numbers. You've got 5 apiece for Lydia and Apollo, 7 for Denicio, 9 for Melkbeer. But, you know, Vire, 14. You've got 7 on General Gore, 6 on Hez, 5 on Marky, and 4 on Feints. Was just a little bit too strong of a performance from Light here today. But, you know what? We were talking earlier, and we were really hoping for a Game 3 of this matchup. The hard point was incredibly close. The DQ obviously did go through effect. That does give the first round win to AxiByte. We now got the search win. So we are going to get that. I believe you said it was a firing range control, correct?
No, you're absolutely right. We're going to be heading down to practice our aim, practice our shots, and see how the firing range handles the action. The heat is certainly going to be hot. Heat's certainly going to be another Game 3. Where we're potentially going to see some of these players who started off on some pretty decent burners. I don't know if you could cap that performance off with anything better in the control vary, but if you got anything in the arsenal, we would like to see it. You know, I don't know if I could so much say that he did a big boy carry or if Hez and Feints, which Hez actually had a pretty solid game, considering, you know, he played that same map in 25 rounds and got about the same amount of kills. He did fairly decent this game, and he did it in unorthodox manner. He did it with the chopper. I mean, you have to... I don't know. Feints obviously was a bit trolly as well. So, I mean, you got those two out of the equation as far as getting kills. I'm not gonna say Hez is gonna get many anyways, regardless. But Feints up there, he's definitely one of those players. He dropped 53 in a hard point. He could have easily picked up 10 of those and neutralized Vire to like 10 in reality, but Vire coming through with the clutch, even though the squad not necessarily putting in the meta work, they stand tall. So we're going to get geared up for our game number 3. I think we're waiting on screenshots to come through. Okay. Yeah. And I'm looking at it. We need 1 minute for one of the players for AxiByte. I got to say, Miz had that was a blender of a game, but he's had a blender of a series so far. I mean, he went negative 21 in the hard point. 26 and 47, Dave. 26 and 47. And then to cap it off, he had 1 kill. He had a breadstick from Olive Garden. Is that what I heard?
No, because Olive Garden breadsticks are kind of decent.
Yeah, and they serve more than one of them at a time.
True.
Okay. All right. Well,
listen, you know what does beat Olive Garden breadsticks though?
I'm listening.
Those butter crab rolls that you get at Red Lobster.
Woo! Man, the cheesy butter.
That's what
biscuits.
it is. Yeah, the cheesy butter rolls.
Ooh,
yeah.
Man. Let me tell you, boy, those things are fire. And it is not like, I mean, they're so moist, man. I'm thinking of like...
They're the only good thing you can get from there, but they're good.
Exactly. They are I mean, they're probably not worth sitting down in the Red Lobster to actually eat, but...
You can buy those
You can buy them by themselves now. I don't think I would ever make a trip to Red Lobster just to get the biscuits, though. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good, but I think you can make those from scratch too, just as good.
Well, you can actually get them in the
the little box,
grocery store.
Yeah, those are mid.
If you think so.
Yeah, I mean, they're not as good as if you made them from scratch. You could certainly make them better. I think my wife could.
Yeah. But
you got to have a good baking skill, yeah.
Something that you can make out of a box in 15 minutes tastes pretty close to what the restaurant serves.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I think I'd rather jump into a, I'd
rather see these players ready up.
Yeah, I'd rather jump into an aquarium full of... What's going on here? Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's not saving. Gotcha. So we're having a little bit of back-end work, so... having to accommodate there. I think I'd rather jump into an aquarium full of lobsters than actually sit down on a Red Lobster and eat. To be fair.
Fair.
Or order out. I don't know. Them in Texas Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse is absolute trash. Their rolls and their cinnamon butter, elite. But
Yeah,
their
but
ordering
then everything
service,
else is-
my God, bro. That is the, I mean, if you're setting yourself up for failure, try and go sit down and eat at a Texas Roadhouse or do a to-go order. It is the absolute worst. Those rolls.
The to-go orders are substantially worse.
Yes. Like, bro, it's on paper. You know, it's in internet form sent to you. You've got a list of things that I need, and you manage to mess that up? Bro.
Yep.
All right, well.
Oh,
you know,
finally, everybody's
yeah.
ready. It's about time. We can stop
Yeah.
talking about food. We can get back to talking about some COD mobile action. I'm sure chat was getting really annoyed with our food talk.
I'm sure they're
Or
hungry.
making everybody hungry, right?
Yeah.
And you know what the best part is? It's Europe. They probably don't know half the stuff we were just talking about.
Yeah,
they
right?
are real lost.
They're completely lost. All right, here we go. Game 3. The control. Who's going to have it? Right now, it's the defense for AxiByte. They're looking for first blood. The trailer side push is going to be coming to a halt, but you've got one player on a little bit of a tangent, and they're looking for the B side themselves. So Hez doing a great job of getting himself in enemy territory. We'll see if they can spread some attention and possibly get some free kills here. There goes one. The rotation's going to pan out. Now you've got trailer door being knocked on Marky. He's going to be able to hop in. Hez is still on a spree, and he is in the spawn running circles around this AxiByte roster.
All right, well, it all comes down to this control. Someone's getting 15, someone's getting 5. It's been a long series, and honestly, the only reason we're here is because of the DQ in Game 1. Otherwise, it would have been a 2-0 for Light. So if you're AxiByte, this is your opportunity. You've been essentially given a chance that I don't want to say you didn't deserve, but, you know, especially since
I mean,
we won without actually using the Annihilator in that Game 1. But, you know, this should have been a 2-0 series, but because we're sticking as close as we can to the champs rule set, it obviously does make sense to make a call on that rule set. So Hez does come through the big kill on the Miz here, and you know Miz had a struggle in Game 1 and Game 2. This is where you got to turn things around, buddy. This is where you got to bring things back and really earn this one for your team.
Yep, there it goes. Gunfight out in the middle of the map. He's on a bit of a tear, 2 in the feed. Looking for more. Bottom side, Hez. I gotta say, he has stepped his game up. Right now, he is sitting on 6. He had the God tier flank off the rip. To divert the attention from the defending team. They were able to get the trailer control. They got the cap. That extends around now. 6-10, it's basically a search and destroy, or TDM, however you want to see it. Shots coming in from the RPD. A lot of pressure here on the B side from the defense. They're looking to hold off any and every angle. Miz able to get back in the kill feed. He's going to find another. And just like that, we've got 7-3, but the player advantage definitely in favor of Light right now.
Yep, you're absolutely right. We've got +3 for Light here. They could be looking to close out round 1, and if they do it, it would be on the offense, which should not be good for the side of AxiByte. There's 40 seconds left on the clock, and if you're AxiByte, you just need to bunker down, play your headies, play your angles as best you can, try to pick up these kills, because you can't afford to give anything up to Light at this point. Denisio comes through with 1. That's going to bring things a little bit closer, gets some wallbang shots, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Marky falls. Hez picks up 1 on Miz. Lydia here for the refrag, but faints. Finds 1 of his own. It's now 2 versus 1.
And look at the time,
so
Dave.
close.
There's 12 seconds on the clock. You do not need to be pushing anything.
Whoa!
Apollo going to be able to catch 1. Marky, they're all trying to make the rotation. They need to find 1. They're not going to be able to do it. Denisio holding down the American site. And that round got turned on its back so quick. You saw how easy it was for the defense just to reel them in. They side of Light. They take the bait. They try to go for the TDM. They can't close it out. And that was a round 100% in favor of the attacking team off the rip. I don't know how you're not able to find those last 3 kills. I guess when you're playing a little bit of hide and seek and AxiByte are putting their money where their mouth is, it's pretty difficult, but off the rip, AxiByte are actually taking the momentum. They're going to be able to take the little bit of an advantage on this A site and try and get the caps through. They've only had 2 casualties right now things are just at a halt on the clock, and Light might not be able to recover from that attacking round. That was a big ball dropped off the rip.
All right, well, pretty unfortunate for Light, but you definitely got to give some credit over to the side of AxiByte. And honestly, Denisio getting caught going up the ladder mid this early in the round, probably not the most ideal position when you know you have opponents that are going to be bunkered down, watching the rotations from mid. And, well, that is going to cut off a lot of progress that we were getting from the side of AxiByte here. They got 2/3 of an A cap, so they're not doing horrible. My God, I just got tongue-tied so hard there. Oh, but Denisio, nice little headshot, picks Veer out of the window. We're looking at a 3-life game once again. Denisio is absolutely trying, but finally gets stopped by Veer, who finds 2 in the feed.
Yeah, man. SKS for SKS, who's better right now? It shows that Veer has a little bit more kills, and he's going to get the better of the trace. Denisio left on his stomach, but he's going to have Lydia right there to have his back. Shots coming in. Miz going to get the credit for the kill. Now it's the last little push. 5 lives left. Make it 4. Make it 3. They are falling like flies in the attack. Not very well suited for a team who aren't able to win the gunfights in the long run right now. Marky's going to be able to grief another. Nobody's there. Marky's going to find the last one. And 1 for 1, we're going into the 3rd round. We are all tied up. But that was overall a much better defense than we saw initially. It started off a little rocky for Light, but once that round started getting going, there was nothing AxiByte could do. They couldn't get the progress back on A. They couldn't get the control, and they were not creative on their rotations. That time almost expired, but the kill came through for Marky to close it out. Either way, it was an L round there for the side of AxiByte. 1 tray comes through. The B plant B site going to be hopped, rather. And right now, it's little creativity going a long way here for the side of Light.
Well, we'll have to see. Right now, we do have 1 tick on to B, but we're down 4 lives, and that's something you can't afford to do in this game 3. Because, again, this one should have been over in 2. In all reality, it should have been. But, you know what? That is neither here nor there. Because now we are here in this control. We are here for this firing range. And, well, Melt, my dude, are we really still rocking the R9O? We have got to see some diversity. I can't believe leading up to stage 4, Melk is not practicing versatility and adaptability. Thoughts?
All right. I mean,
seven kills.
Woo,
now. You got Miz turning things up on 19, having the best performance he's had so far today, and Melk is on 8, and 4 of them are with the Purifier.
A little diversity goes a long way right now. The life count is dwindling. Light not having any success on this attack. We saw the split. It didn't pan out. Feint's going to be able to stop the clock, but insert Denisio with a Purifier. It is almost picture perfect here for the squad of AxiByte. Light trying to rear it up, trying to get it geared up for a last push, but they are going to be shut down 2-1 now as the advantage right back in favor. We have yet to see a successful attacking round. With that kind of info, Dave, if we go to a round 5, the side of Light, they're kind of set themselves up for failure here. Unless AxiByte can close it out here, which hasn't been, like, statistically proven that we'll see an attacking round go in favor, we might be seeing a 5th round where no attack strats coming through, often rip, working initially. Maybe we see something different, but so far it's been pretty stale on the strats. I mean, they've pushed the A site. They sent 2 or 3 over to the B side initially. Need to be a little bit more creative on this 5th round approach if they can make it past this 4th.
Yeah, and Melk absolutely did go on a tear with that Purifier last round. He was on, I think, 6 and 14, and he jumped his way all the way back up to a 14 and 18 now. So definitely turned things around, and not only got his kills up, but on that streak with the Purifier, got himself a drone available, got himself a Predator missile available as well, and that could be a difference maker as we move forward. Right now, it's a 4-life lead, make it a 5-life lead for the side of Light as they are just filling up the feed. But again, you mentioned it, it's a rough position for them to be in because going into that final round, they're going to be on the offense. So they've got to turn things up here. They've got to get to that 5th round. They've got to try to get some streaks and some operators built up. And they've got to close things out there, or they could lose this series.
Yeah, they could. Right now, it's some solid defense. Now they shut down the B push. The tick does come through, and we don't have to worry about ticks being a thing for the time being. Denisio going to be able to find one through the window sill, but very quickly there to trade. Live count getting out of hands, and now the defense showing up and flexing. Gore going to be able to hop the Purifier, and this is such a miss. 4 seconds left in the round. I mean, you've got a little bit to go on for that, but even if there's more time on the clock, that is, in my opinion, a missed opportunity for an operator that you could have used and had prepared for the beginning of this round. And right now, the utilities are limited. Hez and Feints both have operators available right now, but on the flip side of things, you got Melk, who's got a Predator, a drone, and you've got Apollo and Miz, who both have operators to work with, too. Now, trailer side push, not successful. Hez trying to go for the flank. He's trying to do something on the impossible side, and that's getting a little bit of progress here by himself. And right now, no casualties for AxiByte. Denisio actually going to be the first one. I opened him out too fast, and there it goes. Hez hopping the Purifier. But again, it's 2 for the what? The price of 8? That's, I mean, that's not a good start for the attack.
Yeah, I mean, we were down 7 a moment ago. They've brought it back a little bit. We're now only sitting down 4. Make it 5 as Miz finds 1. Melka and Veer each get a trade here. And there's certainly an opportunity where, you know, even though this should have been over in 2, we could have AxiByte come through with the victory here, which would be, I think disastrous would be the understatement, because right now, I mean, they've got a 10 life lead. I mean, yikes, we don't have a single cap, and, you know, B is wide open at this point. If you're light, you need to get someone over on this B. You need to get confirmed that it's at least clear. You need to get the time extension. And then you have to have a hell of a break into an A site here, because right now Melk is sitting on that drone. We've got 3 purifiers available for AxiByte. We've only got 2 ready to go for light, and lives are dwindling away.
Oh,
Still
my.
10 for the side of AxiByte right now.
Yeah, here comes the shrieks from Lydia. Going to be able to catch one lacking in the roam department right there in the middle of the map. Hops to Puri. B is not safe. A is nowhere near it. This is everything exhausted here for Light, and right now they are getting slayed away. Hez tried to make something happen in the trailer side. He gets the confirmation, but they've got 4 lives to 15 day. This is not doable. Lydia and Melk, they're going to combine for the last 2, and just like that, that is going to be our first series of the day coming down to the wire. Something that you probably could have avoided in the hard point, but I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, right? Yeah, man. Hell of a game 3 there for AxiByte. Defense 100% successful.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can go back to that game 1 and look at it and say this should have been a 2-0 for Light, but the reality is if you're going to be a pro player, especially at the level of competition that we expect these teams to be prepared for, following the rules is an important detail. We've seen it cost teams in the past in much bigger stages than Mobile Mayhem. So, you know, fortunately, it's something that happened now. I think, you know, at least these 2 teams will be able to really take a look at what happened here and be like, dude, when we get to stage 4, we have got to be on top of it. Now, granted, they'll be playing on a tournament client. They'll have to make all their classes. They'll be probably making them accordingly so to the rule set. I think there's less likelihood of error there, but, you know, again, I think this should be a bump that just locks it in that we have a solid performance out of these teams moving forward.
You're absolutely right, and you spoke about professionals earlier. Let's go ahead and head back to the one professional left in the hostess. That is Deanna. I see you smile. I know you're ready to rock and roll. That was a hell of a series. I mean, game 1 all the way to game 3 and went down to the wire. Well, that search wasn't close, but
I was not expecting after the first hardpoint. Obviously, Light started very good. They hold the lead all hardpoint, okay, for the hardpoint game, and then the DQ came in. Unfortunately, coming into the next game, that was an SND, and seeing very just frying with a sniper, getting an ace and clutching so many times. I was like, okay, we're gonna have a third game, and Light gonna take it. But then coming into the control, first round was very tight, and then I don't know, something happened, I think, that Light couldn't manage anymore, I think. how good AxiByte had the rotations, and we did saw Melk doing good important kills at some point with Purifier and so on. So I was not expecting AxiByte winning after that S&D game and after the first hardpoint, because they actually started very strong. So yeah, I'm still in shock. I'm still shocked.
I'm sure Viri's still in shock too, obviously. I mean, a lot of,
I feel so
lot of
bad.
hard
Oh my
work
God.
going down the drain. The important thing is, I was looking at the standings. The fact that they were able to pick up those 5 points, which in theory should have been 20, but we don't work on theories here, we work on cold hard facts. The standings for them looking pretty solid. I mean, they put themselves in a 5th position, but the thing they got to worry about now is how's paniQ going to perform against Gold. That's our next series on the day, and that could very well dictate Zidium and Light's, potential for a playoff run.
Yeah, indeed. And while we are ready up, we're gonna get a short break and we're gonna hear a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation. You and Atlas, building the promise of tomorrow. Today.
ターゲットを捕捉位置を確認して行くわよ
Hi guys, welcome back. Obviously we had a short break because the teams joined the lobby very fast, so this is something that we love to see. Anyways, we are here back for the second matchup of tonight, and it's gonna be paniQ versus Cold Esports. So Dave, what are your predictions?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, this is an important game for paniQ, but Cold have been looking anything but cold, right? They've been on a bit of a hot streak in the European scene, especially when it comes to search and destroy. These guys have definitely been bringing their A game, so I've got to lean with Cold on this matchup. If I had to guess, I'm going to say I would expect Cold to pull together a 2-0 here, but I certainly think paniQ have the possibility to push this to a game 3 if they have a breakout hardpoint performance. When it comes to search, I absolutely cannot root against Cold in this instance, so that's about what I've got for you this time around.
Damn, that's amazing. I see teams are ready in the lobby. A couple of players should ready up. So, Verdict, can you go over the map picks?
Yeah, we're going to start things off heading down south for a little slums action on hardpoint, followed up by a firing range search and destroy. If this one does go the distance, we're going to get change of scenery, change of weather, and cool things off with a little summit control. Take off, banned by Cold. paniQ opted to ban Hacienda. The Purifier and Annihilator are off the table. And I think this series has potential to go the distance. I know Day made his claim about this being a 2-0. This should theoretically be a 2-0 day, but I'm gonna be real with you, bro. paniQ are fighting for a place at the table. And I've got to say, this one might be a Game 3 material series.
There's definitely some possibility. Definitely some possibility. I'm not huge on it myself, but you know what? That is a-okay. We'll see when we get into that action. Looking at our match, we're not going to have a player card for Cold today because Apophis was their opponent last week on Thursday, and Apophis did DQ or forfeit rather. So no player card for Cold, but for paniQ, Bison was definitely the player that stood out for me during last week's Thursday performance, coming through with a hardpoint KD verdict all the way up at a 2.29 and a solid hardpoint objective time as well for a player that was slaying out the way he was. Came through with 103 for that hardpoint time. Jumping over into the search, had a little bit more of a neutral performance, but still went positive. Came through with, I think, if I remember correctly, a 9 and 8, but overall came through that 1.125 technically KD. We rounded it to the 1.12, but no control for them, so no stats for that. And I've got some exciting things I want to do next season with player cards, guys. So this is kind of just a trial period, making do with what we can, because we had to find a workaround for the search stats, but it's looking to be working out pretty well. Especially since, even though it's Ronan doing them, we have access in EU to the actual player cards now. So hopefully if we can count on him to do anything right, it's to literally plug all of the information that I give him into these cards and not bleep it up, okay? That is all we need you to do, Ronan.
He had one job. It's not to sell. No
he's doing the player cards right so far, though.
Yeah, he's done great. Cold, a little bit of a miss. I think Tuesday's performance would have been a great bit of data to pull from, but nonetheless, it's I believe Vad who pretty much primarily carried that series we saw last Tuesday. We're gonna see if they can do it again, because the rosters are looking solid. It's Rondo, Nev, Jim, Vat, and Sav, and then we've got Aether. I have to take a look at the lobby here as we get the transition through. It's gonna be Aether, Bison, that player to watch, Lob, Zorky in the 5th, who is a mystery right now. Question mark?
Big old question marks indeed. There we go. Vengeance coming through. And, Vengeance was almost in the running for the player card for the week, but had to give it to Bison.
There we go.
Just had to. So another key player, though, for this team. He's definitely hits his shots in Search and Destroy, so we'll have to see if he's able to compete with the likes of Jim or not. I'm going to go with probably not, but, today's the day to prove it, right?
Yeah, well, today's the day to put your money where your mouth is. This is a must-need win, in my opinion, for paniQ. If you want a top 6 seed right now, it's Cold running the show. They've got the kills on the perimeter. They've got the point, but Aether coming through with the fire as well. Now they're looking for a little bit of that rotation early on. Maybe double up and get some objective time to go along with it, too. Right now, 7-point advantage. Surely the contest coming through. Jim is going to be firing right above Aether. I mean, right past Aether. Nonetheless, shot's going to come through and take him out. Right now, paniQ looking pretty solid on this P1 rotation. They've even got the flip early. We'll see how long it stands.
All right, well, paniQ has got themselves a little bit of a lead right now, and it is a little bit of a trickle break at the end of the P1 for the side of Cold, so we'll see what they bring to the table. One thing I will say is where we've seen Jim struggle is his consistency in the hard points, but what has been consistent for Jim is if he has a good hard point, he is almost certainly going to come through with a good search performance, and right now, he's top frag of the lobby, coming through with 8 kills on the board, so definitely going to be on the watch out for Jim here during this one. Our first team on the hill for P2 is going to be Cold with the Pred coming in. We've got multiple players making this push on up for the side of paniQ, looking to make the break. But Cold, they regroup, they regather, they keep their hold here on this hill, at least for now. It does look like finally paniQ maybe making the break in here, but Nev and Rondo come through with 3. They retake the hill once again for the side of Cold.
Yeah, they retake the lead right now, 40 to 33, the break. Not going to be a strong game there. The spawns pan out, and I thought there was a little bit of a pressure on that rotation early on. They had a full send paniC did right through the middle of the map. They got a lot of map control right on the side, but if you don't get those spawns, it is almost pointless right now. Is a full 60 going to go pretty much in favor of Cold. P3 rotations coming through. You can see the early setup. There's a little bit of trickle time left to grab. Lup probably, you know, gets gifted that kill for free, but spawns, not a certainty until that point ends. Right now, we got a bloodbath right here on P3. It is going to be Nev popping the drone. You've got 3 in the feed, making 4, and they are not giving it up. That on a bit of a tear. 3 in the feed with the Sparrow. They have streaked up.
Holy streak!
Are they
now.
popping
Oh
the
my
Goliath
goodness.
right? Wow. How freaking bold is that? It's not going to pay out. Look, it's going to be
lost
yours.
it.
Yeah,
Yikes.
That's tough.
And then burned the Predator missile to try to take down the Goliath, but a trophy system is going to stop that. What was looking great for Cold might have just fallen apart a little bit. We'll have to see what they can bring here moving forward, because they have given a lifeline to the side of paniC, and, well, that's rough. And, you know, this is exactly why we talked about strategic placement of the Goliath.
Yeah.
You dropped that ish right
Man.
on the hill.
All right,
no
on P3,
protection.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wide in the open? Oh, my
Look,
goodness.
So I've
The
taken
misplays.
talk about like you've got the utility to make something happen, and as soon as you get it available, insta pop. I love the enthusiasm. I love the energy, Bison. Love the fact you took Sav with you, but right into the grab vortex you go. The self-administered one right now. Even though the play doesn't pan out for Vat on that Goliath, it did get yoinked, but it got neutralized very quickly. So no advantages rolling in that favor. Nonetheless, I think it could have been better utilized. I think you're looking at a P4 rotation where right now the lead is possibly going to be up for grabs. And Bison winning huge gunfights in the middle with Zorky right there to have a little bit of support. Right now, the back down from Cold, they're cutting their losses. You know what? To hell with the Goliath, to hell with P4, to P1 we go. Right now, 10 seconds left. It is going to be granted for free here for paniC. So, interesting plays lead to some interesting situations, which lead to some interesting lead changes. So, right now, 4-point advantage. We're buckled up for P1, and this one's a toss-up.
Yeah, I don't think we can give him too much credit on taking the Goliath down quickly, because like I mentioned, the Predator missile was burned, so not only did they lose out on the Goliath, but some extra utility, not only in possibly picking up some kills, but obviously that Predator missile can be used to gather a little bit of information. You don't have a ton of time with it, but you can get those call-outs to your team, and for a team that did make it into Stage 4 off the back of Illuminati DQing for... I believe the official reason giving was account sharing, I think.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear official reasons.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like, this is not the kind of mistake that you want to see a team that has gotten that Stage 4 opportunity to come through and make that kind of mistake, right? Because, realistically speaking, and I mean this with all the respect when I say it, paniC is an easy team when you compare it to the competition they're going to be facing in a week's time, right? Or a week and a half, rather. So this is like your practice. This is a big opportunity for them. So hopefully they'll get some VOD review in, get some listens back, be able to see the mistakes that were made, and you know, recollect and be able to move forward, because they've got a big opportunity. We were not expecting them to have this big of a breakout season, or at least as consistent as they had been. So I've got high expectations for Cold coming into Stage 4.
Yeah, I do too. Right now, the high expectations are out the window. The spawns are 2, P2 locked completely down, even though Jim and crew try to get that early rotation to hold for a bunkered spawn site. Not going to pay off. Lead heavily back in favor after P4. It has been a downhill venture for Cold. Bison streaked out. Aether is almost there to his Goliath. I don't know how much of a reset it actually doesn't look like he's going to be able to get. He's going to go ahead and burn the Predator on this P4 bound now. 60-point lead rolling into that P3 rotation. Drone's going to get hot from old. Vat trying to get a free kill. We'll see if he gets it. That's a freebie. Now the rotation. Love going to be able to catch him off guard. The cutoff man is there. Points open for business. Cold need a massive regain and it doesn't look like they're going to get it easy. The cluster strike's going to come through. It is going to be Bison utilizing everything that he's got. The break, it's going to stick, and Cold are in shambles right now, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about taking momentum and rolling with it. That break on that P3 is where it all really got rolling for the side of paniQ, right? They had a solid P1, but P2 is not looking good for them. Their initial rotation over to P3, not solid. They grab that Goliath, they burn a lot of what Cold had rolling for them, and they have run away with that momentum. They are taking that boost, and they are trying to pick up a win in this hard point. They need to make a break once again onto P3. It's not going to be easy, but they've got potential, and it's going to be iLub and a Vengeance coming through. And iLub on a tear takes down 4 before finally being shut down by Jim. Now P3 is closed out. We're rotating over towards P4. It's inside. This is a bit more of where you would have liked to see some Goliath play.
Yeah.
But either way, this has been an incredible game that I didn't expect to be this close.
No, as a matter of fact, it has gotten a little out of hand. I think this is where everything kind of went right.
Well, Bison's got a Goliath of his own now, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's had that. He's had the cluster. He burned the cluster. He burned the Predator. He's got the Goliath that he's been sitting in his pocket for that rainy day scenario. And right now, P4, a great opportunity for that Goliath to come out of play. But, however, it's Cold. They're in the feed. They're making the plays. They're making the comeback. They've cut the ties. They've cut the loss. It's 50 seconds left to do the deed to make sure they cover the gap, but it is all paniQ in the feed. It is all paniQ on the objective. They get the break, which is something that was desperately needed to keep this Cold roster denied. Right now, they're going to be about 15 seconds away from closing this one out on a P1 reset.
Definitely looking doable for them, and like we mentioned, that Goliath that Bison's got in his pocket, you want to see it dropped in a good spot. I think you go ahead and hold off on the P1 here. You just try to close things out, and if things are not looking like you're going to close it out on P1, drop that Goliath on P2 or behind P2. Get your team rotated over. Make sure you can get some trophies down to protect you, and that could be their opportunity, because right now, Cold, they may have a hold on P1, but there is not even close to time for them to be able to close things out here. And that gets shut down by Aether, calls in the drone, and is immediately killed. So that is huge. And with only 5 seconds to go, this could be looking like a paniQ round 1. And like I said, if they were going to win one, I would expect it to be the hard point. And it's looking very doable for them right now. In fact, I think that might have confirmed it right now.
Yep, there goes the Goliath's going to get dropped. Not even going to be able to hop it, though. That is going to be game 1 in a nutshell. Everything going wrong for Cold, and paniQ causing chaos. A lot of mayhem in that Panama slums hardpoint 250 to, I don't even remember what Cold had, bro. It was just so undoable. 184. So undoable after that first P4 rotation. Talking about the break coming through in P1 for paniQ, the spawns getting flipped for paniQ. They had a full 60, and not only that, I mean, Cold fed and fed and fed and fed. Streaks were earned. Streaks weren't burned either. They were very well maintained and organized. And Bison, he's going to be at the top of the pack. I mean, he's got the player card for a reason. 42 and 28 day with a minute and 11 seconds. Talking about some of the best plays that we've seen this paniQ roster come through with. Hell of a game 1 to start this series. Hell of a game.
Absolutely, and I think this is our best opportunity for a Game 3 potential, because like I said, when it comes to the hard point, I definitely see a reality where paniQ could win, and sure enough, they come through and show us all that here right now. But when it comes to Search, that is where Cold has really not only put a lot of teams that I think they were on similar footing down, but have really given a heavy running to some of the best teams that we see in Europe as well. So I think Cold have a ton of potential to get us a Game 3 here. I think this has some potential to... I think you made a comment earlier that today could be the day of 2-0s. This is our second Game 3, and we're 2 games in, or second possibility of Game 3 2 days in. Again, I'm firm on Cold are the stronger Search and Destroy team between these two. So if I don't see a game 3 here, I gotta imagine it's just because Cold are down in the dumps off of losing that hard point.
Yeah, I mean, that was a blender of a game. After that kind of just throws the Goliath away, everything went downhill. You never really regain. You never get back in that same direction where you were looking promising. I mean, hell, you didn't get anything off P1, but P2 was such a lockdown. You get the break early in P3. Not only that, your team's clicking, the streak's coming in, and then that one split second, everything just goes south. Right now, we're talking about search and destroy. There's a chance for you to slow things down, maybe apply pressure where it needs to be, and maybe take a little bit of time to reset every now and then. Is going to be heading over to firing range for that SD action. If Cold do pull the search and destroy off, which I've got my fingers crossed, we will be heading to Summit for that game number 3. Annihilate and Purifier off table. Obviously, it's not going to be anything massive for search and destroy, but if it does make it to that game 3, hell, you saw how much work that Grab Vortex was putting in. There were several times where breaks were just not even an opportunity because of that. Those hallways, those little breaks there on P2, P3 alike, even P4. You've got such a strong denial tool in that Grab Vortex. I'll be surprised if we see anything else outside of that in that Summit. So, got to make it past game number 2. And Cole, you're trying to get to prime peak form. Right now, you're not doing a good job. You're doing yourself a disservice after that game 1. You need to put your game face on for the search and destroy.
Absolutely, and we should be getting ready to get into that one here shortly. It looks like I've got all the players readied up, so hopefully all the screenshots are in and everything is ready to go, because this is the one that I was really hoping to see a game 3 out of today, even if I thought Cold was going to win 2-0. And you know what, paniQ, this is kind of, I think we compared them to that explicit / now Trucker Gaming lineup that North America has, right? They're a team that has good players that have not necessarily played together before, but they've all had their shining moments on rosters in the past and never found that roster that quite worked out. And now they've got an opportunity. These guys are together. They're actually looking quite solid for a newly formed team that got brought into Mobile Mayhem after the fact because another team dropped out. I gotta say, they've had some impressive performances, right?
No, I strong performances. As a matter of fact, I was looking at standings earlier. If they somehow take Cold out here, they're going to surpass Zidium and be tied right there with Light. Zidium has to play Animus today, and let me tell you, that is not going to be a pretty sight if you're a Zidium fan. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the firing range. Things have to happen in order for us to see that scenario pan out. Right now, it's got to be a flawless 2-0 for paniQ. Cold, I mean, come on now. You got to save phase. You've got to find the search and destroy win here. There's no way you're getting geared up for stage 4, which is not even 2 weeks away for them. And you're not, like, manhandling a team like paniQ right now.
All right, well, we'll see. The search and destroy has begun. We're on firing range. Definitely some opportunity for these snipers to make a big effect here. Obviously, we've got Jim coming through. Using the red action is a little different. We normally see him using that advanced artillery. I mean, I think he was one of the few that really used that when it came out. I think, in fact, a lot of people had mentioned that it was pay to lose for the DLQ. So interesting to see, you know, one of the few players that we really expect to use that skin, switching it up, maybe finding a little bit more comfort in some of the other skins. I know it changes your sights and whatnot, so I don't know. Maybe it's map-based for Jim. Maybe it's a little bit deeper than the surface as well.
All right, well, scratching the surface, deeper than the surface, what have you. Right now, the rotation's through. It's a 2v3. Lub, Zorky, gonna go ahead and get the job done on the plant. Sav, though, and Rondo. The quick collapse to retake some point. Not a single casualty after that. With plenty of time to spare. Job's been done. 3 on board for the Snowflake himself. And a 2-piece there for Rondo. It's going to be first round in favor of the defense. And did that truck just explode in front of your face, too?
Yeah, I think Jim was body shooting it.
Oh, okay. Well, it exploded, and it All right, that was cold after map 1. It exploded after map 1, and now it's back in prime form. They're in prime form. First blood comes through. Vengeance, though, going to be able to get the trade. And it's Sav back on his grind. Shutting down the rotation, but he gets shut down himself. Rondo there to collect the pieces, but the bomb's planted. And Dave, we got a 2v3 on our hands with 40 seconds left.
All right, well, that early bomb plant was huge for paniQ, but right now, not looking like they're capitalizing huge on it, and it's going to be Jim looking to stick the defuse. He's going to get taken down. Bison can't quite win the two-piece, and that's going to be Rondo now teabagging while defusing the bomb. And that early plant really put some pressure onto Cold, but with the positioning that they had, they were able to get the retake quickly. They lost a couple lives in the process, but the trades were good. And, well, Cold, like I said, they're a strong search and destroy team that have given a running for some of the best European teams that we've got in the competition as a whole, right? This is not a mid team when it comes to search and destroy. And I think they should certainly be able to prove that against paniQ.
Well, I mean, mid or not, performance or not, right now it's pretty much a Sav and Rondo show. They combine for 10. Vat finally able to get back on pace. Picks up their 4th. They're going to be able to get the clean clear. And the bomb defused, 30 seconds left. Body shots, teabags, the Karamit trying to get something after the life. And nonetheless, 3 players pretty much anchoring this team, putting it on their back. And Jim and Nev, they are in the donut department. Nonetheless, work's done. They put up 3 solid rounds. It doesn't matter what's on board for all 5 players. And so far, so good for Cold. They're doing exactly what we expected and anticipated them to do in this search and destroy. Can they close it out?
Well, certainly looking doable for the side of Cold right now, and I think doable might even be saying it lightly. They're up 3-0, and even though a couple of the rounds live-wise have been close, it didn't feel that way. Again, the positioning and the capitalization of momentum that Cold have had has been absolutely solid. You got Rondo sitting up on a 6-0 right now. We're 3-0. We were talking about Jim maybe being a difference maker with the snipes that he's been hitting as of late. He hasn't even had to get a kill for the team to have this lead. It's been Rondo, Sav, and Vat coming through, just absolutely running through the side of paniQ. And, well, with another kill coming through, it's once again a 2-1 in favor of Cold. And Zorky, you've got to clutch things up for the team here. You do got bomb in hand, so you might be able to capitalize on forcing your opponents to play against time. Maybe you can force them into a mistake with the plant coming through. It's up to paniQ to try to turn this game around.
Yeah, up to Zorky right now. 1 single breadstick on board. Bomb's been planted. 35 seconds. Trap's been laid. We'll see the duo and Vat and Rondo try to get the retake. Vat's going to lead the pack. Zorky doing a great job playing his life right here on the backside. Playing a little hide and seek. Sure enough, picking that bomb site every now and then. But here comes the 2s. Vat's going to get the first initial peek. Rondo's going to get the backstab. I mean, in an instance like that where you're trying to spot your opponents, you've got to be a little more swift on those rotations. Rondo makes you pay with plenty of time. 4 rounds solid now. You said it not being even close, even though the number count and the lives being, you know, a factor. It was 3-2, 3-2. That one was a 2-1. But it hasn't been close. Cold have very much so dominated this defense. And paniQ, they're in a bit of a scramble. I mean, right now, they have not had success at all. Not even relative success. Not even like 2-3 player advantages. It just hasn't happened. Right now, Aether strikes first. Jim quickly there to return, but Rondo getting the trades when it matters the most. Now, the advantage clearly in paniQ's hand. Can they close this one out? Bomb's going to be collected. Vengeance. I mean, Vat, come on now. There's no way they win that gunfight, right? Buys him with a peek, buys him with a kill, and finally, after 4 rounds of just being absolutely ran through the gutters, they find 1 successful round on the attack, and that might be sparking paniQ for a little bit of a comeback. Cole, you have an answer back. Rondo's got 10, by the way, Dave. 10 kills? Sheesh.
Well, definitely can't sleep on Rondo. And, well, Jim and Sav, they bounce back this round. They open up with 2. Aether able to take down Rondo, though. That's a huge start to the round for the side of paniQ.
Whoa.
But, I mean, just like that, they get shredded from all angles. And like I said, the coordination that Cold have when it comes to search and destroy, the angles, the trades are just constantly playing out better for them. We did have the one round come through for the side of paniQ, and they weren't even able to do anything with that momentum. So maybe with the side switch here, we can expect a little bit more. And I think that's a firm maybe. Zorky opening up a 2 is absolutely huge, but Nev able to get the trade. Vengeance, we talked about him hitting snipes lately. He's just starting to get going. 3 kills on board could be the difference maker now that they're on the defense, but they're in a really tight position here against a cold team that has been looking so good in Search and Destroy. You have to make 6 in a row happen right now to close things out before overtime. I don't see that being a reality for paniQ, even if they pick up this round here, even if there's a little bit of body shooting going on. I still am on board with Cold to end up closing the Search and Destroy out.
Oh, there's a lot of tension here in this lobby. I gotta say, man, I love the vibes right there. It was a very dominant first defending round here for paniQ and Cold. They're going back to the drawing boards. Kills have been collected by Jim and Nev. They put up the work and the effort to turn this game around and certainly put themselves in a proper position for a Game 3 bound. Lub, right here in the middle of the map. You got one in tower. Nev, how did he get up there all nice and dandy like that? Rondo, they got the 3-piece. It's all on Aether. And just like that, round flipped upside down. And the 2v4 will ensue as the bomb's going to get... Nope, it's not going to be planted. What is going on? The bag is being sold. Jim and Nev are left on their own. Thank God Nev's able to find one. It's all on Aether. And what was a 2v4 is now a 1v2. Jim finally getting this plant down. I don't know if there's a miscommunication. And that gunfight out in the wide open, Aether, ain't no way. Ain't no way. 6-2, we're on map point. We're heading to control after this. If Cole can close this last round out.
All right, well, paniQ almost find a way to turn a bad situation in their favor, but they couldn't close out the 2s. That's going to put Cold now at match point. We're looking for first blood, and Cold aggressively pushing up towards the A site here. Aether finds one, but gets turned on by Rondo. Dorky is able to pick up Sav. 2-for-1 trade in favor of paniQ at this point. They've definitely got opportunities to bring this one back, but it's not going to be easy. You've got Jim up top of the tower. He's going to find a free one. Hopefully that call out comes through, but with Nev picking up Vengeance, what was a advantage is now a massive disadvantage for paniQ. Bomb gets picked up. 2v1. Cold could be looking to close things out here, but Jim's not in a position to really defend Nev too much on this play. And sure enough, that's going to be Bison picking up a free one. We're now looking at ones between Jim and Bison.
Yeah, we are. Minute on the clock. I would have strongly loved to have seen the read come through and you've cleared out the B site. You don't know any information of where Bison's at. Maybe flush it all the way to A. Right now, it's going to be a firm stick here on the B side. Bison with 10. He's going to get the spot on Jim, but Jim does the D. The smoke's going to come down. Jim's going to be able to recover and rotate. Maybe that wasn't a smoke. Maybe that was a concussion. That was probably, like a last-ditch effort. Nonetheless, Bison gets the read, gets the kill. No! Jim wins those! We're going to Summit. Game 3 bound. We are for some control, ladies and gentlemen. If you were looking for a clean 2-0 sweep day, you came to the wrong stream. Mobile Mayhem EU, thanks to some DQs, thanks to some, spicy Goliath drops, we're heading to a back-to-back Game 3 performance.
Well, that's really what we wanted out of this series, so I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed in this one. Again, I think paniQ, having come into the scene so late, come into the season so late, I think we just haven't got to see enough of them, So getting to see this Game 3 definitely adds a little bit there, and I gotta say I'm excited for it. When it comes down to the Game 3, I'm gonna have to lean on Cold here for picking up the win. Again, I originally had them slated at probably winning in 2-0 fashion. But, we had predicted early on that if we had a chance for the side of paniQ, it had to start in that hard point. They had a good performance there. Cold came through. They asserted their dominance when it came to the Search and Destroy. And Rondo put up 12 kills, 9 for Bat, 7 for Jim, and 6 apiece for Sav and Nev. We look over the opposition, and, Aether Zorky, they put up some respectable kills, but it was the Bison show all the way up at 10. You had Vengeance, who I expected to do a little bit better here in the search with the snipes that we've seen him hit so far this season, only pulling through 4, and Isla came through with 2, so a little bit of a rough search for the side of paniQ, but, you know, again, we knew they were going up against Cold, who I would say is probably top 3, I would go as far as say top 3 or 4 for EU Search and Destroy.
Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could throw them up there with. I mean, I don't think you can place them. You can't place them above Nova because Nova just outright destroyed them in their series. Animus alike. I think they sit in a comfortable 4th spot. And I say 4th spot because maybe 3rd on a good day.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I think EU has a very, very like open pool for competitive like search or destroy play, and that's saying something. The 3rd, 4th spot, anything after a Nova and Animus, right? And that puts them in a pretty good spot. I mean, we're looking at best of 5s for stage 5. Or stage 4 rather. If you're able to take the series to that 2nd search or destroy, I think Cold have the upper hand in some of these instances. I think it all depends on what kind of map pool we see for this for them, but I think they have every right to get geared up for a solid stage 4 run. And again, you've got to win 2 best of 5s before you lose 2 best of 5s in order to make it to that playoff day. They might be sitting pretty solid depending on the seeding. I don't know what seed they're going to be bidded with, considering they do have the injury from the DQ from Illuminati, but depending on what seeding they get, could be, a pretty solid run for them. So, hey, Hirsch, you get back from getting your nails clipped? Yeah, dude, my guy was ripping skin off of me earlier and yesterday, so, yeah.
Okay, at least it was off of you and not off himself.
No. He ripped my yoga mat to pieces, too, though. He didn't mean to. He was just trying to stretch with me, and yeah. I mean, I got it set up in the house, and surely enough, he's like, well, Dad's doing it. I want to do it too. Hopefully, you should see it. He's cute too in the morning. He does his little yawns, and then he, gets his yoga stance down. We're off topic. That's all me. Herschel Cam comes soon. Yeah.
Chat, just so you know, the only reason he cut off that comment there is because we're getting into the game.
There we go.
We know you all want to hear about Herschel. So.
Yeah. 100%. Never about Verdict and his food choices or Day and that delicious chicken dog that we saw last week.
It was all right. I'm going to try to make those and make them better, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for where it came from.
All right, well, it's not got to be bad here from Cold. It's got to be solid and consistent gameplay. The search, you set yourself up proper. Rondo still continuing that same energy. Finds 1st and 2nd kill coming through. That clears off the 8-point, and the clock's going to get stopped. Love from the staircase. Vengeance from the window. Now we're seeing a little bit of unfolding, a little back and forth. Right now, the kill advantage, only 1 for Cold.
All right, well, again, I gave Cold the advantage if we made it to a control, but paniQ have obviously showed us that they can slay out when it comes to respawns, so they've got some potential for what I would consider to be the upset here. Rising going to come through with 1 onto Vat, looking to clear out some of this progress. Now he's got to get the turn. He's able to take down Jim as well. Ooh, he even finds the 3rd, taking down Vat. Finally, Rondo able to make the break on in. paniQ, they're sitting down 4 lives right now, but I think we've talked about it a little bit in the past. Verdict, even if you don't really care for Summit, I think you've got to at least give it the benefit of the doubt that there's opportunity for the offense to win on this map, unlike some of the other maps that we face.
Yeah,
now, granted, it is because it is largely a TDM-based map. That's if we make it to a round 5, I don't think that's really the end-all be-all, right? We watched that light matchup where it came down to round 5. They had to break on the offense, and it just didn't happen. I don't think you have that big of a cushion on the defense here. So getting that 1st round defense is not a saving grace on this map.
No, it's not. Right here, you can see it. Gonna have to find some success on the defending round, and off the bat, it is a slow start. 40 seconds on the clock. Pressure is going to be at an all-time high here on the A side, and that is going to create a little bit of chaos here for Cold. They have sold the 5 life advantage, and it's only 30 seconds left. A little bit of a scramble. Nev trying to get a little map control. Still plenty of time to reel it back on the offense, but Vengeance through the cage is going to be able to find a big gunfight. Hills Hop, 5 lives left for the defense. And right now, you pretty much got to give them A. You got to set up for that B rotation. You've got to be setting yourself up for a little TDM. You got to be able to reel it back in, and nonetheless, Sav, Nev, and Vat come through with some massive kills. And only 1 left. Lub never stood a chance. First round in favor of the attack. And already a good start for Cole. Can they do it on the defense, though, Dave?
Well, like I said, I don't think the defense is your best friend on this map. I think there's advantages for both sides. But I would even go as far as to say the offense maybe have a little bit of a map advantage if we look back to domination being in the competitive scene. The offense have would be the C side in domination, which was not a convincing advantage, but it gave you access to that high ground early, and that's definitely something the offense can capitalize on here in Control as well. Right now, it is a couple life lead for the side of Cold, but that is quickly diminishing. Sitting at about +3 right now for them, and we got a tick early onto A. Obviously, they've got to find more action here, but Jim taking down Bison does extend that lead. It's now +6 for the side of Cold, who are looking to come through with the 2-1 victory here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. paniQ need to find a way to get out of this trap, man. It has been set, and Cold are just feasting. The streaks are in Vat's hands. The Predator missile is going to find 2. And if it's not the gunnies that are in your face, it's the streaks that come along with it, the operators, all of the above. 6 kill advantage, make it 8. Bison, well-placed grab Vortex is going to be able to find 3 in the feed. He doesn't get taken out by his own grab Vortex, and that's a win-win scenario right there. 12 to 18, life count getting a little bit more out of hand. No progress on either side. This one's going to be around where time possibly expires if Cole don't grieve the remainder of these 8 lives. Right now, the defense looking almost even better than the attack.
All right, well, that was a pretty convincing round that comes through for the side of Cold. They now lead 2-0, and they are making my prediction look pretty solid right now. You know, we don't entirely like to stroke our own ego here. That's a lie. That's a lie. We love it, chat. We
yeah.
absolutely
I mean, I don't think
love it.
I think we like stroking our ego more than we like watching the gameplay. I think it's along with the territory right now. It's gonna be Zorky taking his own life? ? Oh, the SMRS. That is very tough. And here comes the Goliath. They are all invested. Tell me Vengeance didn't just yoink it? No way, Bet! No way! 2 games in this series, you sell Goliaths, and you give a lifeline and an advantage to the opponents, and this is where things could potentially go south for Cold. The misplay, the misread, they may not be able to end this round with a dub, but right now, I think I'm more focused on the fact that we've seen the mistake happen twice in the same series day. Not once, but twice. I don't know if it'll cost them the game based off the momentum we've seen so far, but woo, I am in shambles.
Well, we don't have listen-ins here today, guys, but I sure hope that is catching a little bit of grief from his teammates right now. He's been doing so good here in the Control. He's sitting up at a 19-10, but you hit it right on the nose. Not once, but twice in the same series, you flub a Goliath to your opponents. I hope, for Cold's sake, that paniQ don't take that momentum and run away with it, because this is looking like a round win for them right now. They're +3, and time is dwindling away. The Goliath is finally destroyed by Vat. We've only got a 2-life lead, but only 24 seconds on the clock as well to deal with. And we've got a contest on B. But the drone's going to come through for Vat. Maybe they can regroup here. There's some possibility.
Yeah, there's some possibility. They got numbers on the B site. 24 seconds is going to be where that time is going to be stopped right now. They're putting tremendous amounts of pressure here for paniQ to perform. It is Sav. Grab Vortex, Bison, Vengeance. They're looking to end this one and take it to another round. Jim trying to be the equalizer. He gets Vortex himself, and right now it's a 4-4. Things super close. Nev trying to be the game changer. The B-tick does come through. That extends the round. This one's going to be a TDM to the end. 2 players left standing. Make it 1. Zorky, don't you peek that angle. Don't give him a pixel to work with. He's going to be able to take shots at 1, but Nev not able to close it down. Love's going to be able to find the return. And this one might be going to another round, Dave. The drone up in the air. He can't get the shots to land. Jim's going to win a big gunfight, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. This one's done. Don't be proud of that one, Vat. My guy is selling, even though he fried out. Vat, you've got to be able to find a way not to give Goliaths to opponents. Don't give them the opportunity for a sparking comeback. That's what happened in the slums, Hardboy. I don't think you can tell me otherwise, Dave.
I think that Goliath is a big turning point, and fortunately for them, they're able to come through and close out the control and pick up the 2-0 victory. But those mistakes have to be tightened up before we get to stage 4. We've got the India and LATAM stage 4 this weekend, and then Europe next weekend, right?
Right.
All right. Well, listen. We believe in you guys to have a good stage 4 performance. I mean, nobody expects you guys to come through and get first place. So obviously you guys got to come through and prove us that's a possibility for you. I've had high hopes for your performance in stage 4. I'm a big fan of Jim. I used to get clickbaited by Jim all the time. Okay, I still hang out in the streets to this day. But those kind of mistakes a week out from stage 4, not once but twice in a series.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling as confident for you guys as I was leading back a week ago. That's for sure.
Well, you know who I do have confidence in? The people at the hostess. That's right. It's Deanna coming through with the smiles that will steal your heart away. Cold almost sold the bag there with the Goliath. I don't know, man. I've heard of gifting people stuff, but just handing them ways to get back into a game. I don't think I've ever seen twice in the same series. I don't know if I've ever seen so many foots being shot by oneself. I think I'm done for the day for that. If I see another Goliath doing, I might hurl.
It was quite funny. Okay, but guys, how you cast was funny too. So obviously seeing the first Harpent and seeing that Goliath selling/stealing, obviously it was quite good on the side of paniQ. Okay, because as you guys said, we had a lot of utilities to burn on them on the side of cold. So I feel like that gave an advantage for paniQ and to win the round of Harpent. Coming into the S&D, damn, we started with 4 rounds in on the side of cold. Okay, then we had a little bit of life on the side of paniQ, and then cold just finish it with a win. Coming into the control one, I was expecting more after I saw the Goliath getting stealed once again, right? So whoever stole it, it was a good call. But sadly, they won the control. I was expecting they gonna win it out, or at least a round after the Goliath. But overall, it was a very solid game, and overall, I'm happy because we managed to see on both series 3 games, and that is very cool.
Right. Well, I think our third series could be quite promising. I don't know if it'll get a game 3 out of us, Zidium and Animus, but if anything needs to happen, Zidium needs to perform here. They need to see at least 1 win in order to keep their dreams for a playoff bound. Obviously, they got bigger fish to fry with stage 4, so getting that practice is going to be key. This is going to be another stage 4 preview we're going to get, guys.
In the meantime, we're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna be right back very fast because the team's gonna join fast.
Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation. You and Atlas, building the promise of tomorrow.
ターゲットを捕捉。位置を確認して。行くわよ。
Hi guys, welcome back. Obviously we had a short break because both teams joined very fast in the lobby and obviously I don't wear glasses now. But we are here to see the third matchup of tonight. That's gonna be Animus versus Zidium. And because I see that teams are almost ready, Dave, can you go over the maps very fast?
Mayhaps. Yes, I can, because it was Rollbot, not Verdict? Alright, well, you know what? Rollbot maybe stepping up today. Maybe we gave him a little bit of a confidence boost when we were talking about the player cards getting done correctly earlier. And he came through and gave us all the information we need. We have Zidium versus Animus. And our first game is going to be Hacienda with Zidium on the blue side. Game 2, we'll be looking at a Raid, Search, and Destroy with Animus on the blue side. And if we make it to a Game 3, which I would be very impressed if Zidium were to push us to a Game 3, will be a Control on standoff with Zidium back on the blue side. We do have bans on the Purifier and Sparrow, as well as Slums and Takeoff.
All right, well, we're going to get geared up for the series. Things to keep in mind. Fancy new gear coming through for the player cards. That's right, our focus here for the Animus roster player that we're going to keep our eyes closely on. It's the Madman himself, the 2.0 KD and the hard point from the last week's performance. Matched very well with the 1 minute and 47 seconds on the clock. For that hardpoint time, the Search KD, not there at all. 0.75. My guy is looking for those entry frags, though. I gotta say, looking for those entry frags. And going against Nova, it's not going to be hard. Obviously, they did not win that series, and you can see by the Control KD drop-off, that was a brutal one to watch.
Yeah, definitely was a hard series, but you know what? These two teams are definitely solid ones in the mix, and we have high hopes for them to come through and give you guys the good action to follow it up as well. So I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for it, and you know what? Before we start the game, I don't have my iPad in the game.
Yeah, while you do that, I'll run through Says right now. This,
yeah, go for that.
Says was on a bit of a tear last week. I saw him put up his 15-man clip in Hardpoint where they sparked a rally of a comeback and were able to take that one 1.33 KD with a minute and 21 on the objective. The Search KD, not there either. 0.50. That was a tough one. And I could assume that this one might be accurate depending on what Says shows up and shows out. The KD for the Control, it's there, 1.07. If it does go the distance, which I think if you're Zidium, you have to, 100% have to. As I was taking a look at the top 6 for right now, they're sitting pretty with 75 points. But I'm going to be honest with you, there's nothing safe about sitting at 75 with your opponents who are sitting right below you at 10 points below. So we'll see how it pans out now as we're going to get into our highlight premiere match of the night, day. We've got Animus, we've got Zidium. They are ready to lock and load. Trade blows here. It's Hacienda bound. We are the hard point. Going to be rock solid for one of these teams. And if you're Zidium, you need to find success early here.
Yeah, and I don't know if it fit on the player card or not, but Says was the top frag for Thursday's games last week. Came through with a 52 in that hard point. So we'll see, but looks like we've got maybe one team backing out. There we go. All right, well, we're going to get a fresh little restart here for you guys, and we'll get into the action. And, Verdict, while we got a second while the games are setting, I sent you the picture of what I ordered. Woo, I'm excited.
Yeah, that looks pretty dope. The pan-fried veggie buns. And you get 6 of them. Those things look delicious. The sauce, I hope the sauce is good. I know, like, when you get DoorDash stuff like that can be hit or miss. And then the scallion pancake, yeah, that looks like it's all that and more. Yeah. 100%.
My mouth is watering looking at that. I was like,
is that why your face cam isn't on?
Oh, it's not?
No, it hasn't been on the whole time.
Well, why didn't you say nothing?
Because I am not your father. That is not my responsibility.
You're almost old enough to be.
Almost. That's right.
That's cap chat. He's definitely not old enough. But I think specifically NA likes to come in and say that Verdict's basically 40. So
Yeah, 100%. I am not a day younger than 40. After casting you for 4 hours.
fair.
All right. Well, I mean, the no ping, no problem situation's been dealt. Oh, the sites. We were on the wrong site. Obviously, you mentioned it earlier. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad they caught it before we did. Well, actually, I wish we would have.
Yeah, and then wasn't the one to.
Well, I mean, that's a prime example of
selling.
You know, Ronan selling. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I was gonna take the blame for it, but we're gonna blame Ronan. Heck yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, why? Who else would we blame? Right now, there's no one to blame. It's the objective. Right now, 4 points gonna be racked up for Animus. We're getting a little bit of a stage 4 preview right now. The Hills Hop. They're gonna be able to collect a little bit of free time, and with Marvel doing surveillance around the perimeter, he's gonna be able to find 3 in the feed, and that is certainly looking proper and trim. Now it's Zidium. They're trying to hop the hill. They're going to get taken down. And yeah, sea of yellow on your screen, 100%. That means Animus are frying and Zidium do not have an answer for it. Oh my god. Do you see the combos? And just, I mean, Animus are going hammer, and there is not a single sign of life right now for this P1 rotation. Finally, Afer going to come through. He gets the shots to land, but it's P2 bound we are, and look at your bottom left-hand side of the screen. Animus are already all over it.
Yeah, and, you know, I hate to say it, but, you know, we were mentioning earlier that today has potential to be the day of 2-0s, and fortunately we were graced pretty heavily with some great games in our first 2 series. This one, if we did see a Game 3, you know, again, I wasn't trying to be mean or anything earlier when I was mentioning that a Game 3 here would be incredible. I think it's a hope and a dream more than we can really expect. I don't foresee Animus really struggling in this matchup at all. And that's not necessarily to say that their opponents are pushovers, but in comparison, Animus and Nova are just really in a league of their own when it comes to Europe. And you know, I hope everybody understands exactly where I'm coming from when I say that.
Well, I mean, right now I see where you're coming from, but I mean, this is a respectable break. There were 20 seconds left to grab. I mean, obviously, you didn't get a lot of foot on the hill for P1, and you're having to play a little bit of catch-up, but Zidium are doing a great job of keeping it relatively close. P3 bound we are. Storm looking to lead the pack there for the anchor. Narc's making the rotation through, but Jirari, he's going to be the madman popping the Annihilator off the bat. He is sitting 10 deep day. 10 deep, and now Marvel trying to clean up the scraps on the back end. Says can't even make it through the garage site. Luckily enough, Marvel has not hit a shot. What the hell? That is a full 6 shot. Talking about being tunnel vision day, that was like some bold ego shots coming through that were not even remotely close. Oh.
Well, I mean, maybe he was getting a little bit of that ghost touch, right, Ritter?
Hey, yo! Oh, ghost touch after 6 shots. 1 or 2?
I hung out in your stream, like, the past couple days you've been playing COD Mobile, and even though I've been, like, out working in the garage and stuff, I got you popped up on the iPad or the phone when I got there. I heard ghost touch more the past, like, 72 hours than I have in ever. Time to update that iPad, get something a little bit newer, bud.
I got a 2020, bro. It's a Pro. It looks great, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's on its last little limbs. I mean, for an iPad, it's still gonna last a little bit longer, but for playing wise, I don't know if it's gonna cut the make the cut right now. Animus are making the cuts, they're making the shots, they're making the rotations. P4 bound, 10 seconds in. Narcs has got the Annihilator looking for blood, but it's Gadelia on the hill. He's finding shots left and right. Grizz gonna be adding insult to injury, gets a 2-piece in. The expiration there for Gathelia's. Narcs is going to get dropped, and now it's Grizz's turn. He's trying to be the backstab. He's the middleman, the cutoff. Nobody successfully able to make it to that P4 site as long as Grizz is alive, and luckily enough, he's getting dropped. Storm going to try his luck. Does find a 2-piece there. Make it 3. The break looking solid, but you can only live off scraps for so long when the meat and potatoes are going in heavy favor of Animus. and even some of the salad and whatever was left off the scraps, this is going to be a tough one. 4 sets of hills down. We're looking at a 108 and counting to 49. And Zidium done a great job of keeping it close so far, but things are starting to get a little out of hand.
Yeah, they definitely are, and you know what? That is that's okay. I mean, this is a tough matchup for them, and we definitely have expectations where they'll find signs of life in this matchup, but is it gonna really count in the end? Well, we don't know until they show us what they're actually gonna bring, right? So, looking at the matchup at hand, Animus, they've got themselves a 70-plus point lead at this point, and they are looking to extend that here on the P1 reset, and well, I think they're doing a little bit more than looking for it. It certainly seems like it is a reality. They are continuing to fill up the feed. Looking at the kills on board right now, Jirari, top frag. He's plus 13 with 24 on board. And we've got multiple players that are just barely in double digits or even below, with Afer, one of the key players that we spotlighted, I think maybe last week or the week before. Sitting at an 8-21 right now. That's rough, man.
That is super rough. Obviously, it's a bit of a blender we go into this P2 rotation. The good thing, though, garage spawns seem to be settled down, but Marvel with the contest. He's going to find 3. The break is looking promising. Says needs some help on the reinforcements, but they are going to be chopped down. Afer finally started to pick up slack, but the buy-ins in, homie. I use it because I don't have the KSP unlocked. Right now, the break for P2 looked promising for Zidium, and it is just, I mean, instantly thrown out the window. Animus continuing just to grief this roster. The lead is still going to be extended. 20 seconds left for grabs, and scraps aren't even a question. Full stack right here of 3 players holding down the fort. And I've got to say, Zidium have played this one all wrong. This map can be a blender if you allow it, but you've got to be there for the team pushes. You've got to lock down the money hill, which is that garage site, and they have not done either or.
That's certainly been a struggle for them, but Animus, they are gearing up for that stage 4 performance, and you know, I think they're one of the teams that I certainly expect for most people to think could possibly be looking to go all the way. So they are looking to come through and obviously prove that here today. They've got plenty of opportunity to do so. And, well, with the streaks coming through, certainly looking like this one's probably going to be over here pretty soon. We're crossing into the 200-point mark for the side of Animus. And gotta say, Says doing all right, okay? We got to give Says some credit. He's up on a 24-17. He's the only one on the team positive, as well as found himself streaking out enough to get a Goliath on board. So, is it going to be enough? I'm going to go ahead and say it. No, It is not. But, you know, Says making a name for himself for sure.
No, yeah, I mean, he's putting up numbers against Animus, and his team is, I mean, to say they're struggling is an understatement. Just as soon as the break comes through, look how much time you got on your clock. There's 10 seconds left. You need to be already over at P4. It ain't happening. Guess what? Animus are. They're looking to close this one out. They only need 31 seconds. A lot of work for the Zidium roster with a little time to do so. The search, it has not even been mid. It has been very miss. The hard point on a map like this, I think we won't give them a pass, but this is a learning lesson. I mean, more so less a beating that you're going to have to VOD review on, because there's no way you're making this comeback 231 to 80. This is possibly one of the worst performances we've seen. Gathelia, did he just yoink the Says Goliath?
I don't want to talk about it.
I just puked, chat. I'm sorry.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're looking for a saving grace. You hand that over to the opponents, and I mean, it didn't matter either way. 15 seconds left. Grizz has got the drone up in the sky. They're looking for the wall bangs. Drari not going to be able to hit anything, but his teammates, they're there to grief continuously. Team's going to be able to make the contest long enough to get it extended to a P1 question mark. It does. 249.85. This, I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think a miracle could have saved them coming through from this one. And Animus, we mentioned that they're a stage 4 qualifying team that is just looking to come through and put their best practice forward. And of course that's the case, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I expected them to doing it that dominantly, but either way, that is going to be the case. And, well, we've got plenty of opportunity continuing to rock and roll forward where they could close things out in a 2-0 fashion. And I don't even think that's a slight understatement. I think that is just a raw reality here for these two teams. And, again, that largely comes in part from Animus just being one of those top teams when it comes to consistency, when it comes to one of those top teams as far as what the upper level of their potential is as well. Obviously, Animus are the reigning champions, so they may have lost to Nova last week, but, they took Nova down in the grand finals last season. They could definitely be ones to do it again.
What I will say, too, is this was a performance that we expect from Animus. And then you take a look at the matchup against Nova last week. They look pretty damn solid in Hardpoint Day. It's very hard for me not to say it. They look solid on Hardpoints. The Search and Destroy, I think it's, got room for improvement. But, I mean, when you're at the top, it's very hard to find anywhere to, get that practice. There was never a question, are they good at it? Or it's just, what map are we going to see and what kind of performance are we going to see? In that Nova matchup, they kind of got exploited in firing range. Right now, that's not where we're heading. We're heading to the Hollywood Hills of California for this second game. And with Stage 4 right around the corner, I think peak form is maybe an understatement for this Animus roster. They've put up quite a bit of a show. They shut down the Zidium roster, and that was their only lifeline for this series, in my opinion. I think if you don't find success against a team like Animus, unless you're Nova, if you don't find success in Hardpoint, you're probably going to lose. And the way that Zidium has been playing Search and Destroy, you could bet your bottom dollar that this one is a potential 2-0. Respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Zidium's a bad team. They just have not been able to prove themselves to the best of their ability, at least not in my opinion. So this is a probably just losing battle at this point. If you were gonna take down Animus, it was gonna have to be in the hard point because their coach comes in every week and it's are we good at Search and Destroy now? And our answer has been no, pretty regularly.
Not really. And we mean that respectfully. I think this team, it's not the same team that. We don't want you to think that Day is being respectful. We want you to know he's not being respectful. Right? Well, Animus, I think that was the perfect amount of disrespect to expose a team for the flaws that it has. That map is definitely interesting. It's grown on me. I've actually come to love that map on all three modes, and I think it's viable for all three modes. I think Control is one of the better maps to see it on. I think Search and Destroy is very creative, and the Hardpoint, it involves a lot of hands on deck in order to get the job done well. Not enough hands there for the Zidium to make anything happen. You're talking about after the first 4 set of hills, you were only able to pick up 30 points. That's griefing at its highest capacity. And now we're heading over to the bread and butter for Animus. So Zidium getting an early taste of what it's going to be like for Stage 4. And, I think that's an opportunity for them to practice and get the reality check in. We need to make some changes. We need to improve in these aspects, and it needs to be done rather quickly. Obviously, we're expecting them to progress a little bit more, but how much work can you get done in a week and a half? I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to get a seat at the table, you need to be in that top 3, which means you need to be in the losers finals of day 2. You got to make it past day 1 first. And Zidium, with a performance like that, I don't know if they're going to be able to make the cut.
It's certainly a little questionable, right? And I don't think either of us are coming through in any way, shape, or form saying that this is not a good team, because I think Zidium has plenty of potential. But when it comes down to the reality of the fact, they just do not stack up against a team like Animus. And I think that first game made that pretty apparent. And I think there's some opportunity in the second game where Animus just really put the nail in the coffin. So,
All right, well, nails in the coffin. We're going to see Animus deliver the final blow here in this search and destroy. There we go, finally. Hollywood Hills, California, we are bound. Would have loved to have been in LA for champs this weekend. The Thieves looked, I mean, even better than Stage or Major 4. But that's neither here nor there. We are in the safety of our own homes. We're providing some of the best content EU has to offer for COD Mobile. And right now, Animus, they're at the tippity top as far as the best goes. And we'll see if the shots are on point here for this search or destroy. They're on the defense right now, and they push through. Pull side, Drari and Says bump elbows. Tell me they take care of Drari. No, they don't. He's a madman. He's still on the court side. 2 have dropped. And not a single answer. Dead in the water right now. Storm trying to head for the hills. He's going to get griefed, and it's all on Kree.
all right, well, this is dominant round 1 from Animus. A 5-0 clean sweep coming through for them to pick up the first round of this search and destroy. 2 for Narcs, 2 for Jirari, and 1 for Grizz. Nothing on board yet for the side of Zidium. And, well, again, I don't think this is a realistically winnable match for them. In time, maybe. You know, we've seen this team get better at search and destroy, but I mean, to be fair, that's because the bar was set so low before that it was hard to go anywhere but up. So they're getting better, but with a week to go, I just don't know if they're going to step that performance up to a level that's competitive with teams like Nova, with teams like Cold, Animus. I mean, I don't know, man. I want to believe in this team. I think Says is a fantastic player. I think Afer definitely shines, especially in the Search and Destroy. I think Kree shines in Search and Destroy. Storm is still a very new talent to the scene. I believe he came in off that Atlanta lineup that we hadn't really seen before. So for a rookie, you got to give him his credit, right?
Yeah, well, for a rookie or not, it's the big leagues we go, and for 3 rounds in a row, nobody has managed to stay alive for longer than 30 seconds for Zidium. Except for Kree. Kree has been the last man standing for 3 rounds solid. 2 kills on the board. Now Afer has picked up 2, but he is long been gone. And Kree trying to salvage what is looking like another blender of a map here for Zidium. Bombs being held hostage. You got Gathelia on it. You've got Marvel, the postman, looking for the shots through the Zig format. And Kree now actually might get the drop on one of these players. Let's see what gun he opts to. Okay, Marvel. Shut my pie hole.
Wow. I mean, talk about dominating search and destroy performances. I mean, we got 4 kills picked up in 3 rounds for the entire side of Zidium.
And it's 2 players.
Jirari's got 6. Jirari alone has more kills than the entire side of Zidium.
And
Grizz has more kills than the entire side of Zidium. Marvel and Narcs combine for as many kills as Zidium has. Gathelia could be taking a nap and it wouldn't make a difference. He's sitting on 0-0 right now, you know?
Yeah, well, it's a 1v5. And guess who the man that's still alive? It's Kree. Not a chance, not a shot. That boat has sailed. 4 rounds in a row. A beatdown. I just feel bad even watching this right now. This is, I mean, it's like picking up a fish out of the water and watching it just flop in the middle of the day. Sun beaming down. It is dried up. It's only got a few seconds to live. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This has been a flop for Zidium. Narcs finds first blood. Says is dropped. And, well, the push is not as aggressive and it's not as collective. I got to say, I mean, obviously you make that rotation through the pool side. You find yourself in a bit of a panic. Narc's going to be able to find another. This time, Kree's not going to get the diligence of, or the opportunity to play his life as being the last one alive. He's actually one of the first to go. And this has probably been the best round for Zidium, so we're going to make the best of it.
Well, I mean, best round for Zidium, picking up 2 kills is not really a best round at all yet. I mean, we're basically on par with the closest performance they've had so far. And it's a 4-0 in favor of Animus. It's a 3-3. Well, make it a 3-2 as another kill comes through. Narcs just shredding him, finds 2. Oh, Narcs! Why you gotta do him like that? These
Kids
guys
have
just don't want
families.
a compliment. They just want to be told that they're decent at search and destroy. God damn!
Man! Just so good. Narcs picks up the 3-piece, closes out the round, and what little hope was for that round is a 5-0 scenario that we have on our hands. Grizz gonna take the bait, but Cathalia finally getting on board, and now's a better time than ever. Jirari, this one's about to come to an end. You don't want to be sitting on 2-3 kills going into the last round. Sure enough, he's done his deed. He picks up his 3rd, and he drops. It is going to be Kree. Doesn't see it coming. The garage site, it is compromised. 6 rounds in a row. The blender has been tossed into a blender, and into another blender it is gone, and we are in a 6-0, where Zidium just have not a single chance so far. We flip sides. I don't know if it's going to change the perspective or change the way they play, but right now, Dave, they're up Schitt's Creek, and they've been not had a battle. They don't have anything. Right now, Afer trying to switch to the snipes is kind of working out. Finds Drari there lacking in 1-for-1 trades. We've got Narcs. Almost gets bested right there, but able to stay alive. Cathalia and Grizz, they're going to find 2 more, and yet again, everything is crumbling right underneath the Zidium roster.
Well, speaking of up creek without a paddle, you don't gotta be faster than the bear. All you gotta be is faster than your buddy. And well, unfortunately for the side of Zidium, that's gonna be nothing right now. The 7-0 victory. They get taken down by the bear, which is Animus, and that was rude.
Yeah,
Animus, that was just absolutely rude. Didn't give them a single opportunity to excel. Even the round that we started off with a 2-0 pickup for the side of Zidium quickly turned back into Animus's favor. And I mean, it was hard to do anything but praise Animus in that matchup. And I was just trying my hardest not to bash Zidium on that one, because that one was over before the blink of an eye, honestly.
Yeah, 7-0. I mean, this is stage 4 preview. This was our highlight premiere match of the night. And we've got premium talent coming through onto the stage, and guess what? It's Animus. They show up, they show out, and they literally clean sweep. I'm talking literally sweep the entire 7 rounds in a row. Very, very unfortunate performance for both Zidium, and obviously, I mean, we had 2 people dip out for kill cams. That's tough, and it's on. I don't know how much you can salvage out of that for VOD review, but
don't watch that.
Oh
one.
my! Don't. Yeah. I thought we were out of the era of cyberbullying. That was some of the biggest bullying I have ever seen. In a hardpoint followed up by the search and destroy. That was a stage 4 preview? Question mark.
That was just disrespectful, honestly.
Well, as rude and disrespectful as it is, we're going to get a change of pace. We're going to go ahead and get back on board with the host desk. With the brightest smile of all of us day, I can try, but I don't think I can, outshine. Deanna, I know you're excited. I know you were jumping up and down seeing that one. That was... Woo! You want more, don't you? I know you're just sick and demented. As nice as you are, she's like, more!
Yeah, it was quite amazing. As fast as the teams joined the lobby, as fast we actually ended this series. I think we stayed more in a break than played this series. But it was.
My!
I'm sorry, but it was, I think, the fastest that I can recall. Like, the hardpoint was not even close, and coming in at the last rotation with that Goliath Young. I think that was especially for you, Verdict, that Goliath Young. It was on point, right? I don't think we saw the whole season that many Goliath being kidnapped as today. So it's quite interesting. And then the S&D was just 7-0. Like, it was amazing on the side of Animus, but very very bad on the side of Xitium. Damn. We need therapy after this.
Like I need to take a shower or something. I just watched something that just, you know. I need to call the cops or something, dude. There was a murder and I mean 5 people
Kidnapping.
in a kidnapping. The Goliath was joined. I mean, I don't even know how to explain this one to the cops. There was a lot that happened in the matter of that 25 minutes that series lasted. That's right. It was record timing. We've had breaks, not here in Mayhem, but in other tournaments where 25-minute breaks come through, and I mean we're still waiting. That one, it was all after all said and done. I don't know what to say. I hope we see a different Zidium for stage 4, because if that one shows up, they're going to be 0-2, and they're not going to be very happy campers.
Well, this series was very fast. Okay, very fast and painful on one side of a team. Like, okay, so we're gonna take a break and we're gonna gear up for the last matchup of tonight, and it's gonna be Vendetta versus Prometheus.
Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation. You and Atlas, building the promise of tomorrow.
ターゲットを捕捉。位置を確認して。行くわよ。
Hi guys, welcome back. We did have a short break once again. Hopefully this game matchup will not be as short as the last one, obviously. But we are here to have the last game of tonight, and it's gonna be Vendetta versus Prometheus. Day, do you have any predictions?
I've got a prediction for Day. Turn your face cam on.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Actual prediction time. Well, Prometheus are gonna mop the floor with Vendetta here. Sorry about
Bold.
Oh, damn.
that. It ain't even close.
Day woke up and chose
Okay.
violence for that prediction.
For sure. How about you, Verdict?
Well, I mean, I saw the light after last series, and I tried to sprinkle it as nicely as possible. I don't think that's going to work in this one either. So I think Day's right. I think it's going to be a 2-0. I don't think it's going to be close in any regard. But if it has to be close, it's got to be here in this hard point.
Okay, sure. I see teams are here in the lobby. We do have them ready up, and then we can go over the maps very fast. We do have a first game is gonna be a hard point on Summit, followed by an SND on Rain. And if you're gonna get the third game, it's gonna be a control on Standoff. We do have Purifier and Annihilator Band, and also Hacienda and Slums.
All right, well, solid best of 3 to cap the night off, and we're going to be joined back shortly after this series, and I say shortly, relatively, and not theoretically, reality. I'm thinking this one's going to be as quick as we saw that last series, Day, and one of the reasons being is the players to watch. I was looking at Prometheus. They have a stacked lineup, and Mari just looking that much better.
Yeah, had a little bit slower of a search and destroy, but overall had a solid performance for the team when it came to the hard points. So got some potential to shine here a little bit. I think they're obviously up against and I mean this in the nicest way, a much easier opponent this week. So I expect some of these numbers to get a little bit inflated by them. They faced off against Light last week, and let's be real here. Light and Vendetta are not even close to on the same level. I think Vendetta has some players that have shined out. I think they've had other players that have really not impressed me. So I'm not going to put any names out there on that. But the fact of the matter is Prometheus, even if they've been a little bit crippled with some roster changes since their Stage 3 games, they're just in a totally different league than Vendetta is for this matchup.
All right, well, players to watch for that Vendetta roster. Greek, he's posting the .81 with the, I don't know how much time that is, 34 seconds. That ain't gonna cut it here in hardpoint, bro. Not here. KD for Search, absolutely impeccable. 1.43. They didn't make it to that game 3. And they'll be lucky to make it to a game 3 here today now, as we're going to go ahead and dive right into the snowy hills. Summit, never looked better. We'll see what team stands out on top after this one. Right now, it's all about the control room and Day. We got kills for both teams, but Brixa, she's running around madman style. I think she's opted to finally put the Mac 10 away and starting to finally conform to that KSP meta.
Well, Zed, you know, we
fried.
spoke pretty heavily on his AS Val usage in the past. And,
It's hard point.
you know
It's hard
what?
point. We'll let it slide.
It's hard point, and it's Vendetta, so, you know, there's definitely some opportunity for him to put up some numbers here, and I certainly think he just wants to have a little bit of fun with this matchup, if you ask me. Because honestly, he switched off of the AS Val in some of our previous matches, right? Previous
Not in that
weeks of play.
search.
Not in the one you really gave the business to him on, but you know what? This is an opportunity for him to redeem himself, huh?
All right, well, redemption. Best served against Vendetta right now. As you can see, he's got 4 in the feed. He's going to get shut down. Noir finding his first, make it 2. Pointless so far after the first set of, or first hill. We're trying to see if Vendetta can get on board, and right now it's P2 bound. We are. Reek and Ryu, they're going to tag team it up. Don't want to be another meme in EU. We saw how it did to Aphelion. They never came back from that 250. Oh, and finally 6 points on board. See, it can be done. It was done on this map at one point. Right now, it ain't going to happen today. It is going to be the hill hop. P2 catwalk. As much of a blender as it can be. The retake, it's right back on point. Predator missiles there raining high, and Brixta already on 11. We're not even P3 ready, and she's sitting in double digits. So is Patrol. This is a problem. Not for not for Prometheus, but for Vendetta.
Prometheus.
Yeah.
I mean, again, when it comes down to this matchup, there's honestly, I don't think anybody who would disagree with us that Prometheus are just overall a stronger team. And, well, they're going to be able to prove it here in this matchup. I would fully expect Prometheus to probably win this one fairly uncontested in 2-0 fashion. And now Greasy Gracie got the Gravity Vortex gun out. Buff a couple updates ago, I think 2 updates ago now, does give it 3 shots, so got some extra potential. Only finds 1 with it, though, and I will have to step away for just a moment.
Yeah, go ahead. Food must be coming through. It's certainly going to be hotter than this P3 rotation. 30 seconds left on the board. And Prometheus trying to get in that prime peak form. Stage 4 ready. That's not a question, this one. Brixta reaping the endeavors of the Grav Vortex. Those 3 shots. Only needed 1 to get those 3. Certainly looking for the P4 rotation. 2, 70-point deficit now for Vendetta. Zed, he's going to go ahead and take a moment for a little bit of adjustments. And done. There it goes. That's a new call out from some of these new skins right there. Zed rocking and rolling. He's going to get shut down. And Noir actually going to get the better of him the second time that I've caught it on cam. Patron, he's knocking on heaven's door. He's trying to get this P4 hill. Spawns, though, kind of a flip right now. 2 players left for Vendetta. That's going to be Ziege. Ryu trying to make the breach from the backside, but the spawns are going to be dealt with. Brixta going to be able to find 1. Ryu going to lose a key gunfight. And Prometheus are not letting their foot off the gas pedal right now. They are putting it into overdrive. Well over the speed limit. 100 point now. Deficit for Vendetta to make a comeback on. And, I mean, before this series started, there was not a question about, I mean, are we going to see a game 3 here? It was about how quickly this series is going to be done. And Prometheus showing up with their best foot forward. And Vendetta not really even to keep their head above the water. All right, Day's not back yet, chat, so we're going to continue to talk about him. Shots coming through. Break comes in. 30 seconds now collected now. P1 reset. Here we come. Control room now. The primary focus here for both squads, and only 94 points needed here for. That's a hill and a half. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it here in this P1 P2 reset. They picked up 49 the first time around. Realistically speaking, it's very much a possibility. But I don't know how well they did on that P2. I can't really remember. I know how well Brix is doing right now. She is, I mean, running around wild woman style. 27 and 5. 5 times positive, chat. She is killing it. Grand Vortex gonna come through and assist, but girl can handle her on. There is Greek trying to hold down the fort, but they're gonna get tossed right back into the blender, and right now, Prometheus are just running rampant with this lead. Alright, we're gonna get geared up for a listen in. We don't do it with Prometheus because they didn't grant us permission, but we're gonna see what we can get out of Vendetta, see if they are learning from their mistakes, and see if they can maybe make this one extended to a P3 rotation.
Middle.
This one.
One top.
Yeah, stand.
Dead.
I need that. Inside. Watch it. Nice, bro. One more.
Top. One more top.
Yeah, nice.
One top.
Yeah, hill.
He's one.
I push it from bottom.
One computers.
He's. Well, that must
Alright,
be my
we-
cue to
Yeah.
chime in.
Yeah, there we go. Day is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Your
check
food
that
there? Are you stuffing your face?
out. No, not yet.
Oh.
We're worried about the game first. So,
Oh,
not that there's seemingly a lot to worry about. I mean, Brixta's 36 and 7 on board right now. You
Freak.
got Patron on almost 30. I mean, this is a slaughterhouse for Brixta right now. She's positive 30. And, to be fair, Vendetta, they're not, necessarily as negative as you would expect, seeing Brixta on a 40 and 8, a 5.0 KD right now. At least not all of them. Greek, our player to watch, he's sitting on a 20 and 27. You've also got Zidium on a 19 and 27. But honestly, a couple of the players of Prometheus struggling to really be as positive as I would expect with, again, Brixta frying the way that she was. So, big game for Brixta to come through there. Obviously, Prometheus, we expected them to win this matchup. But, you know what? Vendetta got points on board, okay? We're proud of Vendetta here.
I think I mentioned that earlier. I mean, we know how much a 250 O can mean to a team, and the fact that they were able to put up 37, we'll respect it. They showed up. They took a little bit of a beating. Nonetheless, Brixta, she's going to be the one standing tall after this one, though. 43 and 8. Overall, it's collective effort, but 43 and 8? Man, this is, that was a tough one to watch. Certainly a beast of a game for her. Started off strong. And I think for the past several weeks, I watched her kind of struggle with the MAC-10 after seeing it get nerfed to the ground. And today was the first day that I saw her not question the loadout. Not question what she's going to use. I think I saw her MAC-10 last week still. The KSP in her hands is golden. And for the receiving end, that was brutal. That was a tough one to watch. Back-to-back, we've seen just 2 blowouts of a series so far, and Vendetta, we appreciate them for coming through and wanting to get the practice. The comm listening, we salvaged a little bit of it. And, they didn't sound completely defeated. I mean, even after kind of just tossed into the deep end, fed to the Sharks. And Brixta, I mean, girl was born swimming, bro. She was born swimming. She was frying that game, bro.
Yeah, and a little funny story for you in chat. I came back right before you went into the listening, apparently, and I just kind of heard you kind of tailing off. I didn't have my headset on yet.
Yeah.
So I just was like, oh, I'm back. Let me get back into casting with Verdict here and, not leave him hanging any longer. And then Ronan's like, yeah, he's doing a listening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, 1 minute was one thing. I did 2 hill rotation. I was like, no, you know what? It's 218 to 30. Who cares at this point? They don't care about hearing my voice. Let's go ahead and hear somebody else's voice.
Ooh, these look delicious.
Oh, can we see them? Do you have any light?
I do. It's just not on.
You look like you have the Oblivion behind you, bro. There
It's
we
gonna
go.
flash for a minute. because it's broken.
Days in the lion's den right now, chat. Oh, there it goes. He's in a rain now.
Yeah, it's broken. It's one of my smart lights, and it.
Yeah.
I
Doesn't
gotta
look too
reconnect
smart right now.
No, it doesn't, does it?
It's reading the room though. I give it to it. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can match the vibes. Hold on.
If we just give it a second, the light will be on. There we go.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, wait.
hand-fried veggie rolls.
Woo. Where's
Yeah.
the sauce looking like? Is it warm?
It's almost spilling. It's just like a dumpling sauce.
Ooh. I know it's gonna be good. Just like I know this last Search or Destroy, and I say last Search or Destroy because it's 100% guaranteed the last Search or Destroy of the day. Possibly the last game of the day, too, based off of what we just saw. It's possibly going to be the end of the line here for Vendetta in this series. Is it good?
Oh, yeah. That's delicious.
Yum. Yummy. No ghost touch there. That's all love. That bite?
Yeah, we're...
How much did you take out?
Of the first one?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see that chunk of a bite. Oh, you're a respectable guy. Yeah. I would have probably eaten half of that in one bite. That's just me.
It's good.
All right, well, here we go. Last little bout here in the Hollywood Hills of California. Raid, Search, and Destroy is coming up right after we watch Day stuff his face with some of the most delicious food I've seen him order yet. I think the dog had... Not the dog. The chicken dog, the chicken hot dog that you ate last week looked pretty appetizing, but when you got it home, it just didn't look as appealing.
It was definitely not what the picture showed.
Yeah. Is this
This
a
is
chain
about
place?
as close as what the picture showed.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that was pretty spot on. I looked at it and I was like,
Well,
yeah,
this
that looks.
this is Evergreen Veggie Kitchen. So. Yep. It's a vegetarian Chinese place.
All right. Love
And
it.
it's delicious.
Absolutely love it. Verdict getting starving over here. That's right, Chad. Yeah, we had a little rave. We ran it a little bit. Now we're getting geared up for it. It is Search and Destroy. Make or break here for Vendetta. A little bit of a blowout there in the hard point. The Search and Destroy. The Kilo's coming out for Gracie, and he is looking to get greasy as hell. Aimbot going to be able to get greasy as well, and Mars drop. Greek finds another. Right now, it's a 3v4. This is possibly 10 times better than we saw on the hard point so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Zeb has come through with a kill onto Aimbot there and trying to work something out. Noir rocking the Koshka. Not a gun that we see a ton of people use, but we've definitely seen a couple players pull it out and pop off with it. I think Marky is one of the ones that we've seen a fair bit, but Greasy Gracie rocking the Kilo bolt action, trying to channel his inner solo here.
Yeah, but his isn't diamond, and we're not going to be that guy because I don't grind camos, so I can't tell these players to grind their camos.
So I can.
But I'll let Day do it.
Yeah. Grind your camos, you bot. All right. There we go.
Zed is literally using the Trick-om. And he got a kill with it.
Did you see what Brixton did the first game? These two teams are not on the same level. Like, that is just... I hate to be rude about it, but that is the reality.
All right, you should have just waited for him to hop the defuse, bro. Brixton now lasts alive. 2 seconds, not a chance. Not any time. Tries to bait for the kill. Doesn't happen. 1 round, of course, in favor of Prometheus. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. These teams are not the same. Not the same. Right now, it's 5v5, which is exactly the same. So we'll see if they get... This is about as close as it's going to get right now. This is a decent start. Mari going to be able to get the trade, and Gracie, well, he's still killless and still has the Kilo. He'll remain killless, and we'll see him next round. Koshka in Mara's hand, looking for some bloods to come through, and Zeech holding down the bomb heady. Players made it through successfully through the waters of the pool site, but you can see the double back now. Brixton looking to deal the damage, but Greek there. The drop is there. Top Modern is controlled, and Noir adding some heat to the fire. It's going to be another one, so it's a 2v4 here for Patron and Amari. Can they reel it back in, Day?
Well, that is definitely a good question. We'll have to see things roll it on here. I would say there's at least potential for Vendetta to not get 7-0'd here. Obviously they've got a lot to work on, but you know what? They're in a position right now where they've got Mari last alive, rocking the Kashka as well. Got the Deagle, that 50 GS coming through as his secondary. So I don't know. Maybe Mari comes through and clutches up the round here for the team, the 1v4. But I don't know. Vendetta might get some points on board. I don't think they win. I don't think they give us a game 3. But I don't know. Maybe a 7-2, 7-3, something like that.
Well, here we go. First round to... Oh, my. The Pixels played. Ryu, head glitch on point. Going to be able to take down Mari, and now we are even up. Already putting more points on board than Zidium did all against Animus, and that was a sweaty bout. Right now, we're tied up. Chances for a game 3 still very slim to none. Mari's going to double back for the bomb pickup. No one else wants to do the objective, and all of the strategy and anything else that comes along with it out the window here for Prometheus. They're looking to have a good time. They're not here for a long time. Zed's got the SMRS, trying to take some shots through the ring sight. Is going to get dropped! And Gracie, still rocking the kilo, still killless.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just spectating him at this point.
There we go.
See anything come through, and there's one. But I mean, bro, Gracie, if you're trying to channel your inner solo, bro, you're doing it wrong. That homie came through and was frying people. I mean, it might as well has been an AR in Solo's hand. He wasn't missing shots. He was dumpstering people so fast. And he is just he's just like the definition of built different this season.
If built different had a picture in the dictionary, it would definitely be Solo.
Standing next to Tech.
Yeah, standing next to Tech. Right now, it's 2v3. Mari and Bricks are trying to cover all odds and ends, and the 3 players left standing here for Vendetta all set up a perimeter around this B site. Reed's 100% in point. Mari and Bricks will get the breach. They're going to get this bomb plant down almost instantly. Almost instantly, Mari. There we go. Now, Greek, I don't think these guys know it, but they're not coming B, homie. Let's double back. There it goes. Q for the bomb. 40 seconds on the clock. 3v2. Can they make this retake happen? Possibly take the lead.
Well, certainly some possibility here. But right now, this is a Prometheus team that is fully expected to win. They came off a huge hardpoint win. And, oh, Brickster girl, you got to land that one. Mari's going to go ahead and finish it off. Finds 1, finds 2. Brickster finds number 3. And just like that, that round closes out. The 2-1 lead in favor of the side of Prometheus. But I gotta say, Vendetta not been honestly looking horrible in the search so far. I mean, considering how heavily they just got wrecked in the hard point, this is not a bad search performance so far.
Not a bad, not a poor, not a terrible display so far. And Gracie does pick up his second there with the kilo in hand. He ain't no Solo, but he'll do for EU. Greek now looking to take things in his own hands, and sure enough, he's going to get a handful and a face full of concussions. Lucky enough he gets out of the room before they blow up. And I got to tell you, bro, if I don't go deaf before, I get old, it'll definitely be coming from concussions that land in Call of Duty. This is, like, in Summit, I can't spectate, bro. I'm literally concussed the entire time. Right now, first blood comes through and no trades. Taking it nice and slow here. Breeze in the park. Prometheus, put this thing back into overdrive. What are you doing?
Having too much fun?
I'm not having fun with them having fun, bro. I'm having fun when this thing is all said and done. It's done. It's over.
All right, well, let me tell you, Verdict. I was debating between the pot stickers and those pan-seared hot buns.
Ooh.
Hot buns was the right choice, okay?
The hot buns were the right choice? Yeah.
Absolutely. And, speaking of having to pick between one or the other, we've been not having to pick a whole lot of anything for the side of Prometheus. They are coming through. They're picking up the pace. They now lead 3-1 over their opponents. And well, they're doing it using pretty much whatever they want. I mean, we've got a Chicom in play, we've got a Kilo in play, and you know, at this point, Prometheus, if I don't see a Chicom out of you in stage 4, then I'm just gonna throw it out there that you were absolutely trolling versus Vendetta, and they're not gonna care at all. They're gonna just be like, "You're not wrong. We were." So right now, got definitely some opportunities with the side of Prometheus, maybe not playing to the best of their ability for Vendetta to put some points on the board here. Maybe they take a little bit of advantage of their opponents here. Maybe Prometheus get a little too far ahead of themselves and underestimate Vendetta. But, well, right now it's a 4 versus 2 as a couple kills did just come through. And
did you just describe is that a Karate Kid plot that you just described? Maybe. Oh. Or any other fighting movie where the team that, or the player or the fighter that underestimates the other one gets just like put on his butt or their butts.
Maybe.
Or both of them are on their butts. Who knows? No ifs, ands, buts about it, though. It's going to be Brixa. She's going to go ahead and lock and load it. Gets that bomb planted. 30 seconds on the clock now for Noir to make the rotation. It's a 1v3. Prometheus just going to lay back in the cut. Look for the mistakes to be made here. Got to be coming from somewhere. It certainly wasn't A.
All right, well, 3v1, the retake, probably not looking doable for Noir. He's got 3 on board, so does have some kills, but with only 15 seconds to go and not an eye in his eye sockets, didn't see the players standing dead center of basketball court. I don't know what I just witnessed.
No.
I mean, were you watching his perspective too?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You saw him look right at a player standing in the middle of basketball court and just not a care in the world.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the no, don't shoot me. You know the wiggle on the screen where you're like, no, I made a mistake. Mistakes were definitely made, and I mean it was a 1v3. Let's be realistic about it. Ryu out, Patron finds his 5th. Aimbot looking to get the answer back, but he's gonna be hog chased and hog tied and pinned down and dealt with. Greek now in a 1v5. It's, I mean, to say it's doable is like saying Day and I can put a team together and we can compete in stage 5 and win it all. Sure enough, those players converge on him. Yeah.
I'm putting together Bolu, Marshy, Tech, Jez, and Vague.
That's literally just the tribe roster. -1.
No further comments.
Okay, all right. Well, no further comments needed. We flip sides. 5-1. Kilo's coming through. Nade shots.
Looking super hot this season, dude.
Who?
Nova has been looking super hot this season.
They're washed, bro. What are you talking about? They didn't even play today.
Well, they didn't
No,
play
did Brixa. Brixa sitting on 9. The 2-piece catches wind of aimbot. Girls got hacks, bro. Girls just don't miss. Ryu left in a 1v4. Please, just put the nail in the coffin. Finish him!
Verdict, I gotta ask, did you play Mortal Kombat growing up as a kid?
Get over here!
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad we're on the same page on that one.
Yeah.
But Ryu, he ain't on the same page as his team right now because he's the only one alive.
Yeah, he's a Street Fighter. He's not a Mortal Kombat character.
All right, if you had to pick one or the other, which is the better fighting game?
Mortal Kombat.
All right. Well,
from
proven right now as Ryu gets absolutely dropped. No more Hadoukens here, bud. Sorry. Oh, we're so old, Verdict.
Yeah. So I was about to make a Virtual Fighter reference too, and I was like, kids don't know about Virtual Fighter. They don't know about the Sega Genesis. They don't know about any of that gameplay before their time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know how it was going to be like relative to the situation at hand. But I was going to try and find a way to make it relative. Right now, it's not even close. Not relatively close, not remotely close, not any bit close. Ryu finds a 6, finds a 7. Zeeb's going to find another.
He's got Zed right behind him.
Chick on in hand.
Though, might give him a little bit of an opportunity to survive. Do you waste a attachment on the Chicom for a red dot though? That's the real question here, Zed.
I mean,
Or is
go
this
big
the
or go
default
home.
Chicom class? Well,
Have you seen the red dot or the iron sights on the Shickum? It's kind of bad.
it's not the worst. I mean, you're talking about making a gun that is just horrible decent. I feel like you gotta just get used to the iron sights at that point, right? You need that extra attachment elsewhere.
No. You know that gun's ass. You know that you have to.
Well, Brixta dropped her KSP for it. So.
Love it.
Yikes. Making the rotation over. Could be looking for the kill onto Z. She's got 12 seconds to make it happen. Goes for the fake. Turns the wrong way. And is going to get gunned down. Siege finds the second round now in favor of the side of Vendetta. Granted, that might be a little bit on the back of the side of Prometheus. Not taking it as seriously as maybe they could be. You know, where's Gracie? I was watching him earlier. 4 kills on board. Okay, so he's not doing horrible.
I think one of those were an 8 shot.
Earlier and only saw the one, so I was just a little confused.
Yeah, I mean, if he was doing like crazy things like Solo did, I'd justify.
Spectating him? Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as I did spectate him, he gets dropped like a sack of potatoes. Greasy as hell right there. That's greasy, Julian. Yeah, no one's gonna get that reference. Doesn't matter. Noir. Oh my god.
Is that a Big Daddy reference?
Trailer Park Boys. Close. We'll give it to you, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Greek and A-Bot. 2v4. We saw a 2v4 clutch last round. We didn't even acknowledge that. And Patron is literally doing 360s in Zig. That's why. Okay, that's why we're not acknowledging it.
Well, this one's tough, man. This one's tough. We, you know, theoretically speaking, have a closer matchup here than we did earlier against Animus and I kind of forgot who they played now. Animus.
I'm gonna help you
Zidium.
out. Yeah,
Zidium.
there we go. I wanted to help you out, but I was like, nope. I need your brain to start working. I need you to put it in overdrive, bro.
Listen, these scallion pancakes are just taking over, man.
I want some scallion pancakes.
These are amazing. But
DoorDash me some scallion pancakes.
listen, that match was theoretically closer than the Animus Zidium matchup. It was a 7-2. It didn't feel closer. I mean, even the rounds that we won on the side of Vendetta felt like it was because, again, Prometheus weren't taking it seriously. They were kind of giving them room for error, right?
Yeah.
You had Gracie with the Kilo, you had Zed with the Chicom. You throw a KSP in those guys' hands, and you know they're not dropping 4 and 5. You know they're dropping, 8 and 9 or something in that kind of matchup. With Mare coming through with 12, Brixta on 11, Patron on 9. The 3 players that were taking it seriously were all double digits or right on the cusp of,
Yeah. Well, I know who is going to take it seriously. It's not going to be either of us. It's going to be Deanna. She's going to be joining us for one last bout here today. As we're getting ready to wrap it up, Deanna, how much did you enjoy watching that one?
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting hard point. Obviously, Brixta was frying, like she was doing the job there. I think she was the MVP with the most kills. She did such a good job, and I actually enjoyed watching it. Coming into the S&D, again, we did saw Prometheus did not use like very good guns. They use like Chicom, Kill, and so on. Usually I don't use a Chicom, I never use it. So I don't think they took it that serious. So even if with
Chicom or the people trying to grind the Chicom leaderboard.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Chicom is a good gun. I'm sorry, guys who use Chicom. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, overall, it was fast. Not as fast as Animus earlier, but this was fast too. And your prediction were right. It was a 2-0. Well, yeah. Also, something to mention until I don't forget. We will have just this week, we will have Thursday a broadcast, and we will be back with the playoffs on 30 August and 1st September. So we're gonna give 1 week before and after like a break for the teams, because stage 4 is coming, and yeah, I can't wait to. Well, this is a question: will we be able to see stage 4 or not, guys?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're gonna have a huge broadcast, and trying to get the green light to possibly get some watch parties going on. So we won't have very much Mobile Mayhem throughout the month of August, but I mean, you bet your sweet bottom dollar that Bobby's going to be on that stage. You know for sure I'm going to be watching some stage forecasting. So hopefully we'll get the approval for some watch parties. I'm super excited about it. And yeah.
So, can you go over the standings, because someone put them in the chat, someone that this verdict was on. And put them in the chat.
Someone
And,
that is
yeah.
verdict.
Not Ronan.
Not Ronan.
All right.
Not
Well, our results of the day for anybody who maybe came by a little bit late. We had AxiByte with a 2-1 victory over Light, partially due to a DQ in the first game. Cold Esports with a 2-1 victory over paniQ. That was actually a hell of a series that I would recommend going back and watching. Either if you're subbed on Verdict's Trovo, or you can watch it over for free on YouTube. Link in the description below. Animus with a 2-0 victory over Zidium, and Prometheus with the 2-0 convincing victory over Vendetta as well. So that brings our standings to Nova. Didn't play today, but first place, 150 for Nova. Second place, Animus, only 5 points behind with 145. Third place is a tie between AxiByte and Cold Esports, still with 100 points apiece. Light got themselves a position over Zidium by 5 points. Light with 80 in fifth. You've got Zidium in sixth with 75, who are now only 10 points ahead of paniQ. And who's that right on the brink? Prometheus coming through with 50 points. I don't know if that's close enough for them to make a difference this season. I have to look at the remaining games we got, but I don't think it is. Vendetta in ninth with 0, and Apophis at number 10 spot. Negative 10 points on board.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I just saw your name verdict in Discord, so I was like, oh yeah, sorry. But yeah, it was overall a very good day. We did catch 3 games at the beginning, first matchup and second matchup. We had 3 games. Coming in on the third one, we did had Animus winning 2-0, and the fourth one was Prometheus winning 2-0. So we did had a good evening, in my opinion. Okay, and all of the teams came. Nobody forfeit, so that's good, right? Anyways, guys, we'll see you.
We did have a DQ, Viri.
I don't wanted to mention it again. I know about the DQ.
Any opportunity I have to throw Viri under the bus, we got to go for it. 100%.
No, poor Viri.
Out of love.
Okay. He did carry me in rank, so I cannot throw him under the bus. I'm sorry. But we did had a great matchup, as I said, and obviously a pleasure to be here with you guys, Verdict Day, and with the staff. Obviously here with you, people from the chat who watches us every broadcast, right? We will gonna be back Thursday, obviously, with Mobile Mayhem. It's gonna be the last until 30 August. Just a quick reminder. In the meantime, you can check Verdict and Day streams. Probably they're gonna stream daily or as much as they can. And you can actually check the VOD on Verdict's YouTube channel. In the meantime, we're gonna hear a word from our sponsor, and we're gonna ready up for our raid.
Later, guys!
Welcome to New Vision City, a city built upon innovation. You and Atlas, building the promise of tomorrow.
ターゲットを捕捉。位置を確認して。行くわよ。